Hello, everyone, and welcome to Escape from Carceri. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Niall, and I will be your dungeon master for tonight. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv with Roll Together RPG. For those who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, everyone here plays a fantasy character in a fantasy universe. 5 players each have their own unique character sheets. With those sheets, that tells them who they are, what they can do, their deepest secrets, what dice to roll, and they will be mostly rolling these D20 dice to see if they do well or if they do badly. A 20 is amazing. A 1 is usually not fortuitous for the player. And whilst they play their characters, everything else in this said fantasy universe is played by me. Peoples, monsters, weather patterns, odors, you name it. Between me describing the world and the story, the players are describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls keep things a bit unpredictable for us all as we tell our story. I would like to now invite the players to introduce themselves, maybe tell them a little bit about themselves if you've anything to say about yourself, tell us pronouns, everything like that. I'm Niall, I use he, him, and Liz, kick us off.
Hi, I'm Liz. I use she, her, they, them. About me, I would say I'm a full-time nerd. I work with servers, I play a lot of D&D, and do 3D stuff. That's it for me.
Lovely. That's awesome. Red.
Hi, I'm Red. I'll be playing Voight. Do you want us to talk about our characters or no?
If you feel like it, it's up to you. I'm not gonna. No.
Never discuss them.
But is that a yes? I mean,
yeah. Go for it. Whatever you want to talk about, babes. It's cool.
Okay. I'm playing Voight, who is... Oh, wait. Elf. Wait, no, it's been a long week since we did this. And Voight is traveling backwards through time to stop something and save the world. It's classic. It's classic. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't actually have a lot to say. I'm Red. I'm also a fantasist professionally, which is amazing. And it's a pleasure to be here. I'm done.
Beautiful. G.
I don't know quite how to follow that. I'm G. I use he, him pronouns. And I'm playing Larkin, who also uses he, him pronouns. And is a wolf. And that used to be a halfling. Which I think is all good. I'm just gonna leave it at that for now.
Yeah, leave the mystery in the air. Love it. Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I use he, him, as does my character Ilex, who's a half-elf problem solver. And you just say, hey, that doesn't sound like a job. It's not. He used to just be taken to dinner parties and solve murders. Now he's on the run from his former mentor. You know, D&D.
Classic backstory. Anna.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Varya, short for Varvara Scarredhide. She is a Loxodon and mercenary, and slowly building a nice wee base with everybody, and a group of extremely flammable nuns. About me, I am a poet and I make games, whether that's little video games or TTRPGs. Basically, if it's got words in, I probably like mucking about with it.
Awesome. Well, that's our lovely players. But before we kick off into the D&D, this stream will run for about 3 hours, and there'll be roughly about a 5 to 10 minute break somewhere in the middle. We're delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy to use design tools let you build their perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your own web browser. Hero Forge is constantly expanding the catalog of customization options, so there's always something new to check in out at heroforge.com. We're also delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. Get your tabletop organized with character folios and dice bags. Ultra Pro is the leading manufacturer and supplier of sports and gaming collectible accessories, as well as other gaming accessories. Join us in Twitch chat today to be given a gift voucher. Just say something and you'll be entered into a random draw. These can be given all over the world, so head to ultrapro.com. We're also sponsored by the wonderful Elderwood Academy, who are a premium purveyor of bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chess, dice boxes, spellbook, deck boxes, rolling trays disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scrolls and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. So find out more at elderwoodacademy.com. We're also supported by D&D Beyond, your guide to digital D&D, and you can see everyone's character sheets on the overlay on the left-hand side of the screen. We're also supported by Level Up Dice, and there's a link in our chat for our Table Shakers range. We're also supported by two lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. You can see some codes at the bottom of the screen, and you can type Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep into Twitch chat for download links. And for Idle Champions, there's a code you can directly enter into the game, or type !code into Twitch chat for the gold chest, whereas Warriors of Waterdeep's type !wow gems into Twitch chat for the link, which you'll need to use on the mobile device where you have the game downloaded for free gems. We are Roll Together RPG on all socials, and there will be links in the chat, so do like, follow, subscribe. A massive thank you to our D20 club on Patreon. You can find a link in the chat. This helps make our shows from just £1 or $1, wherever you are, and look more tiers by joining. So our shows are available also as podcasts now. Just search Roll Together RPG on your favorite podcasting app. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are transpositives, and we encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do let us know if you think one has been missed. But for now, let's start. Escape from Carceri. I got it wrong. Lovely. We start our story on the southern coast of Baldur's Gate, next to the Cloakwood Forest, right on the sea line. You can see this place from a distance. It's a large church of Kalemvor, and you know, this is not an unusual thing, but what is next to it is the home of our heroes. Known as the Fire Force, this is the Fire Force Station, previously an outhouse for the church, but had unfortunately been burned down. It is now a bit of a ramshackle, but these heroes have made it their home. And at the top room in the corner, where there's part of the roof missing from the burning, a tarp has been overstrung to make sure that no rain gets in. And this morning, you know, the crows are roosting. Apparently, the roosters are crowing. It's the dawning of a new day, and Vaya, you are waking up a little bit chilly because your room has a massive hole in it, but you've done your best with the tarp. And would you like to introduce your character, maybe give a description, and how they get up in the morning?
Sure. Varia levers herself off the floor. It's difficult to find a bed that will hold a Loxodon for very long, at least. And it wasn't a pleasant night of dreams, what with the rain falling on the tarp and occasionally leaking off to the side, startling her out of bed. And so she rolled off, hit her elbow on the side of it, and has once again broken one of the slats. Varia is a Loxodon who, having spent quite a few years settling, trying to settle in, still has that mercenary style life and existence. But she's been here for about 20 years, and as she gets up and makes her way into the kitchen, she gets out her mug from the cabinet that no one is allowed to touch, and puts the kettle on to start making the morning pot of that of tea for
Oh,
everybody.
as soon as you start, Alfreda, your butler, a small portling human nun, shuffles his. Oh no, dear, for that. No time for that. It's okay. I'll do. You sit down. Breakfast is porridge today. Porridge or fruit, darling. Porridge or fruit.
Porridge, please. Porridge.
Excellent. Take a seat. I'll do everything. She like pats you on the shoulder because she can't reach your head, but she would try if she could.
Holding the mug, not letting her take the mug.
Okay, fair. She's like, okay, darling, you can let go. You can. She's like slowly brushing the sides of your hands, trying to like ease it out.
I will wait.
Okay.
I'm good at waiting.
You can hear her mumble to herself, 15 years of service, and you'd have thought she'd have trusted me with the bloody mug.
I can hear you.
Oh, yes. Sorry, just a bit of a tickle in the throat, darling. We move over to another room on the upstairs floor. Not as windy or drafty, but the shutters are definitely not well made and crafted. Large, clunky, maybe put together, maybe made by Agnes herself. But Agnes, how do you rise in the morning?
Very slowly. So Agnes is of the age where she used to be a nun but retired. So therefore does not wake up at 5 a.m. for the standard nun steeplechase. She likes to stay in bed and really relax and think of Kalemvor while picking her spells for the day. I suppose eventually she'll rustle up the energy to mosey on downstairs and maybe raise an eyebrow towards Alfreda, who's possibly making that tea wrong, but she's not going to interject. Agnes is a dwarven cleric of Kalemvor, very sort of straightforward. She's in her 200s, in her second century, and doesn't suffer nonsense really, but she's quite jolly with it. And she will probably make her way over to Vaya and raise eyebrows again at poor Alfreda. Hello, dear. I see your mug's been usurped again.
It's where I wanted to be.
Alfreda's like, she just sort of like comes up to you and she's like, she still won't let me make the bloody, use the bloody mug for the tea. She has to pour it herself. I don't get it. I don't understand. Would you like tea, porridge, fruit?
All of the above, please, Alfreda.
Excellent. And she sort of like just shuffles backwards and like she doesn't really move like normal people. She kind of moves in like either vertical or horizontal axis. She doesn't move at diagonals, probably because of her old age.
Agnes knows the feeling and sort of awkwardly kind of sits herself down. The knees creak audibly as she does.
Excellent. Then we transfer over to Voigt in your upstairs room. Again, probably a bit more different to the other rooms we've seen, as you are from, as you said, the future.
Well, Voigt, being a springtime Eldarin, has actually already been up for 4 hours. Which is important that I mentioned because I've done things and had an extra short rest in that time. But I've actually been out for a jog because it's just such a lovely morning and I'm just back. I'm a little bit sweaty, obviously, but don't mind. As I come in and just shake it off. Oh, guys, you're up. Oh, you missed the dawn. The dawn really was fantastic. You should enjoy dawns. There's a limited number. And Voigt, as they enter the kitchen of our little collective vibe, they're a springtime Eldarin with brightly yellow-colored hair, sort of like a baby chick, which we all know what that looks like. Really a little bit of unicorn in their ancestry because they have I've forgotten the word for it now. The long spiral horn and hooves.
Alicorn, is it?
That's the word. Point to you.
I only know it because you told me it like a week and a half.
I don't remember that person. They will sit down and see what the morning. How are you? Oh, how are you doing? Yes, you look. Did you sleep, Agnes? You look.
I'd slept like a baby, my dear, and might I add, you look marvelous this morning.
Gosh, thank you. I just feel just great.
You've really brightened up this place.
I do my best. We've got to live every minute.
Indeed. As for dawns, they do occur every morning.
True.
Not quite sure why you'd think otherwise, but there we are.
Well, as you know, I'm from the future, and I just think it's really important that we enjoy every day we can.
We know you're from the future, Red.
Yeah.
We get
There's no dawns anymore in the future. It's just perpetual darkness.
I'm not sure I mentioned. Did I mention?
Well, if you tell us how many dawns we have left, maybe we'll appreciate them more. But until that point, I'd like to have a lion once in a while.
As I said, that's secret, unfortunately. But if I tell you about the future, it will put the future in jeopardy. It's all very complicated. There are diagrams.
That's the spirit, dear.
Excellent. We move over to Ilex, who previously you've been staying on the couch because you are a new member to the Fire Force. However, just recently, over the last month of staying with them, they've managed to finally clear out the storage room, and you have now a tiny, tiny little room that is now your own. How have they decorated it? It's got no windows. It's a hole in the wall that you've managed to make.
That makes perfect sense, because windows are how people can climb in and get you while you're sleeping. This is safe, this is secure, and is like, I think like when Voight said, oh, diagrams, Alex was like, yes, diagrams, very sensible. So I don't know what the fancy version of red string is, but is trying to solve completely pointless cases, like going, okay, like there's a big thing that just says mug, And I think Alex has fallen asleep, reading through his notes, sort of face down, and wakes up and is like, I'm fine. Let me check. I think it's morning. Right, breakfast, yes. And sort of very subtly opens the door. I think the others have just got used to this strange half-elf man just sneaking around, trying to be stealthy. But also, sometimes it helps to be friendly and polite, but also just don't eat anything you haven't made yourself, which of course has caused issues. But good.
You used the wrong mug.
Oh, that was a huge problem. I think that within the first week there was 2 screaming matches. Because if she is going to try and poison me, she wouldn't poison her own mug, so that does make sense. But I understand now. I will have my own mug, which I will keep with me. A bit like Alan Turing.
Keep it with you. It's yours.
Yes, I chained it to a pipe so no one can steal.
This is how you bonded, very clearly.
Oh, over mugs, yes.
Excellent. Roll a highs or lows for me, Lows.
Roll what?
Highs or lows, just any number. Oh, actually, what would you like, highs or lows?
Highs.
Okay, excellent. We'll come back to that. Gee, you've got yourself in a bit of a different predicament. You have the downstairs floor because it's the easiest one to climb into for your current predicament. How would you like to describe your room and maybe the way that...
So, okay. Larkin has been here for quite a while. Was kind of along with Varya, was one of the original members of Fire Force before we were called Fire Force, or were really a proper organization. And even before that, Larkin had been a halfling beast ranger, or beast master ranger, who had a wolf for a companion. There was a mishap while they were dealing with the thing. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point. But they ended up swapping bodies. And so now Larkin is in this body of a wolf has an eye patch on his left eye after said magical weird incident. And so I think having been here a long time would have done what he could to have a nice comfortable room, try and get rid of any drafts as much as possible. He is a big fan of Elfrida, and is relies on her a lot for decent food, because beforehand he liked to cook, he likes food, and now has a wolf companion in the body of a halfling whose name is Kato. And getting Kato to actually cook is difficult. So,
do you sleep in the bed, and does Kato sleep on the floor, or do you?
I think there's a bed which there's a bed that Kato sleeps on, and there is not. It's somewhere sort of between a bed and a sofa, I think. That I sleep on with a kind of like a sort of big rolled up sort of blanket thing.
Well, as you wake up, you notice that Kato is just chewing on some papers that you have. Just very absentmindedly, just sat upright in bed, just chewing on the paper.
Kato, what is that? I get off. I go over and kind of like nuzzle at him to kind of get him to put it down.
As you nuzzle at him, he like backs away up to the corner of the wall of the bed, just like.
Kato, stop it! Put it down.
And it like floats down, and you can see that a couple of weeks ago you received an invitation from a Count of Catalan. This invitation was a black card and wonderful gold writing. Actually, on inspection, Alex figured out that it was actually gold ink itself. But half of it's chewed up. Unfortunately, the half that says what time and the date that you were meant to meet.
For God's sake, Kato, can't leave you alone for 2 bloody seconds. Look, just come on then. I should say, like, Kato, like has kind of, I think studded leather armor I gave him, and it's like it's kind of difficult to get him to get it on and off. It's a whole thing, and he's not keen on having a bath and things. So he's got a very like feral Elijah Wood quality to him. I think it's quite kind of scraggly beards and all the rest of it. But yeah, so look, just come with me. We need to go and get some breakfast. And I pick up the remains of Note, and I have to wait. Like he knows that he is the one that has to open the door. But like I figure he was a beast companion beforehand, so he's relatively well trained, and for the most part does what he's told.
He's probably there, like you say, ready to open the door for you, and then follows you downstairs. As you head downstairs, you see everybody out, food being prepared by Alfreda, and a curious black piece of card from when Alex fell asleep on his nose is stuck to his forehead. Which
we've just left there, apparently. Right.
Oh no! At this point, Alex had just arrived, and now Lorcan's just arrived. So that's where it all comes together, you know.
Is this a new style choice, Alex? What is this?
A clue. I fell asleep. I look at the card.
Yeah, you open it up and it is your personal invite to meet the Count of Catalan, and you notice that the date is for today at 10 a.m.
Alfreda, do you happen to know what the time is?
Oh, well, darling, I guess by checking the sundial it's about 9:45.
Amazing. Could you just throw me that apple, please?
She launches an apple at you. Nice. You're quite used to this now. It's been a month.
We've got our own little comedy act. I think because, as I said, Elix was originally like, I can't eat anything that hasn't been made by myself in case of poison. And I think she sort of, I don't know, hit me with a shoe. And was
she's granny fed you. It's one of those things that you can't argue He's
malnourished. And that was the sort of thing where he's like, I need to go upstairs. She's like, take these biscuits, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Every day there's food ready for you. New cakes, new biscuits to try. Yeah.
My nan's like that.
Yeah.
So and cute.
You all very kindly ignored the crying that happened after that happened. You know, Elix is not used to this kind of attention and love. But then he was like, did we all... Sorry, I'm being incredibly rude. Did we all get one of these notes?
Did we all get one of these notes?
You did indeed. Unfortunately, Kato's eaten half of Lorcan's.
Yes, ridiculous as it is, my dog ate half of mine. When is this thing?
It's in 15 minutes. So
Are
I'm
we
getting my going out hat. I just turn and I'm going, and I'm like, what do I need to pack?
Is the address nearby? Are we about to be late for this thing?
You pull out your own invitation from your backpack, satchel, whatever you have, maybe just a hidden pocket somewhere, and you see that there is no address. There is literally just, you are hereby invited to meet with the Count of Castellan for a meal and an offer at this date at 10 a.m.
I'm not anti-free food, but
do you know this Count of Catalan? Do we know?
do I need to roll,
Roll history checks? Yeah, please. First roll of the game. Oh no, second roll of the game.
It was a 19 on the dice, so
Excellent.
who knows what Varia's history actually is. Let's check.
Anybody else want to roll?
Oh, well, it's a -1, so that's an 18.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20, very nice.
15.
Okay. Did you roll this?
5.
You have no idea. I would say that those who rolled below 20, maybe like the name has come across in conversation with very high class clients. Especially when you were working in the last time where you met Alex, Ron Odorous, who was the mayor, who was trying to basically rig the votes by creating undead zombies, which Alex helped you guys figure out. When you first met Ron Odorous, he was very into sort of like this faux royalty, and he mentioned that there was a Count of Castellan that had graced him with his presence, and that's like the name rings a bell, kind of vaguely. But for Alex, you know that because you did a lot of in-depth research into Ron Odorous to bring him down from his corrupt mayoral position. You found out that when he'd mentioned this Count of Catalan, it was a name that you should probably look into. This is an extremely rich man. Like, we're talking like the rumors are that he has untapped wealth. That wherever they go, gold follows, and wherever they come from, they've just left almost like an explosion of money behind them. So you just know that they're extremely, extremely wealthy.
Another question. Is my invitation to Ilex, or is it to my unprofessional name of Holly Green?
Just Alex.
And it just turned up at the monastery.
Yeah, all on the same day. You all had an individually wrapped envelope that was delivered by just a regular courier a couple of weeks in advance from this date.
There was a few days of the others having to deal with me going, but how do they know? How can they be sure? I have covered my tracks so well now. I really haven't.
Well, you could probably put it down to the fact that you just helped save a town from an undead
word passes about
a suppression kind of vibe thing.
As Ilex just walks off out the room, Ilex, do you actually know where the hell you're going? Or
come back and go, well, no, not officially, but if we look at a Caesar cipher of the... No, it's nonsense, I have absolutely no idea, but I assume someone will come and find me. Adventure often does.
Right.
Do we all have... Are we wearing ties? Do we all have dresses? What kind of look are we... He's a very rich man, and also, I've learned, those with the most money are probably the most wicked, so weapons. You can hide weapons. I'm babbling.
I cannot hide this. Mary has a two-handed axe. She's about the size, like a double-headed axe the size of her. Oh, I'm supposed to hide this? Where hide it?
An interesting challenge. Let me think on that. There must be some kind of pocket dimension we could... Not the time. Breakfast. Apple. Right, good. It's exciting.
All right. Well, I mean, I figured we were all invited. They knew who we are, so I'm not intending to put on any different clothing. I don't normally put on clothing, and, well, Kato's not even going to go there, so...
He's dressed for the day, and that's a victory.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kato like puts his face up from a bowl of porridge. It's just covered in vomit. Where he's like,
Sister Alfreda, please get a mop or, some sort of cloth, please. Thank you. Good.
you turn to Alfreda, and Alfreda's just stood there looking at him with like a bucket and a mop, just like begrudgingly but ready, and just sort of nods at you and is like, yeah.
Agnes, do you think maybe we can, if he is so rich, we could maybe afford something for the roof?
I mean, I like to think that a spotty, patchy roof builds the constitution, but that's just me. We could always ask for some money. I'm sure the nuns would approve. It would fund their habit of smoking, which I assume is a good thing.
Habit.
Alfreda shudders as you say this. She looks very uncomfortable.
I didn't mean to aggravate you, dear. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, darling. I just don't need reminding of why I'm here. She was the one that burnt down this place after trying to be cool. She tried social smoking to fit in with the other nuns, but coughed too hard, then swallowed the cigarette, coughed it back out, and it fell on some dry hay which lit this entire building aflame, hence why it is in the current state it is in.
And
At least your hair's growing back.
But she's so terribly scarred. I mean...
The inside.
Swallowing a cigarette will do that too.
You used to have such a lovely singing voice, but...
We did enjoy your hymns.
Yes, really quite manly.
Thank you. Oh, Calambo, bring us peace.
Such a banger, Sister Alfreda.
Okay, is there anything you want to do in like your sparing? You probably got like between 8 and 5 minutes left before it hits 10 a.m. That's assuming that whatever's going to happen is going to happen at 10 a.m.
I like that we've had breakfast, but we're going for food. I like this. I'm always fond of a double breakfast.
The brunch.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 or 9 minutes is not a terribly long amount of time. I might...
just because it suggested packing.
Well, if there's nothing else to do, then we're just waiting. I'm going to take Kato for a walk. So, Kato, come on.
Kato jumps up out of the chair and just brushes themselves off, and then just follows you out.
Yeah. And we're probably just going to walk around the grounds of the nunnery, maybe just walk out up onto the road and stuff, but not go too far.
Okay. Anything else anybody particularly wants to do, or are they just waiting?
I will go and get my doctor's bag, which is Agnes's backpack, but it looks like one of the medicine bags that you see doctors have. And within, she's got all sorts of stuff that probably won't help anybody if they're in dire need of anything. She's got a rusty bone saw in there, a couple of sweet wrappers, but she likes to have it with her just in case. And of course, she will cover her head with her cowl, which is this sort of mithrily sort of material, and it's got this sort of lace knitted into it. And she comes downstairs again, looking quite goth, prepared for the day.
Awesome.
Hello.
It's quite sunny outside. Just saying.
Varia is going to go and fetch her adventurer's pack. Basically, it's become almost like a kit bag that is so used, like a little backpack basically, and it's just what you need. It's got the basics. I suppose my question is, do we have any healing potions in our storeroom at the minute? Oh, Dungeon Master.
Unfortunately, the last adventure kind of wiped you out.
That's fine.
Potions wise,
we need to restock on the healing, whatever. She's just gonna get big great axe to small axe, just lay it's another day in the life, basically. Not moving
just
fast.
Another day in the life.
Yeah, not moving quickly, but moving purposefully.
No worries. Voight, anything? Are you just chilling with Alfreda, or
I'm just gonna fetch Colin out of his little side pocket universe. Colin being Voight's sprite, who has also traveled backwards through time, but has been much more debilitatingly affected by the horrors that they've seen and suffers quite a lot of violent emotional trauma. But nevertheless, is doing what they can. They're there on Voight's shoulder, and then she's just gonna spend the time cleaning her shotgun, of course, for the day.
awesome. As you bring Colin out of the pocket domain, leave me in there, leave me. It's nice in here. Oh, hi,
Colin. All right, Colin. No, safe place. Banana. Safe word, banana.
Banana. Sorry, I just remember the fires.
I know. Everything's
The eternal fires. The only sun that we ever see is the fires of the
It's sunny outside. I mean, you're going to enjoy it. We're going to have a nice day.
All right. You look pretty today.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
You're sweating. I mean, it's early and you're already sweating.
I had a joke.
Yeah, good. It's good. Gets the things flowing, etc.
Yeah.
Things. Oh, you must.
Yeah, oh, what's that? And then go start seeing some fruit.
Right.
Kato and Lachlan, as you're on your walks,
I was going to say, like, I think, because I know this area, and I'm not really convinced that anything's necessarily going to happen at 10, but I am actively having a look around. Is there anything weird, out of place, any of that kind of stuff?
Okay. Well, the first thing you notice as soon as you step out is directly to your right, just outside the door, probably a bit too close than any normal circumstance, but this isn't a normal circumstance. About 8 or 9 nuns of Kellenvor, all sparked up early in the morning, just having a bit of a natter and a fag with each other, and just chatting about the usual things, like oh, you see Quinnell's always fucking thinks they're the best. They're just walking around like they know everything. Yeah, fucking Quinnell, it's just can't, Clemvor damn earth, be honest with you. I wish she'd fuck off.
Morning, sisters.
Morning. How you doing, lovely?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, all right. How's Kato? Oh, he's a good boy. And Kato comes up to one of them and she starts scratching his head. And he's a good boy. And you hear another one being like, I don't understand it still. Why? Do you think? I just think it's bollocks. I reckon he's really just a really good ventriloquist. And I was like, shut up, Egan. You don't know what you're talking about. And this tiefling just sort of shoves off.
I imagine if he was just a good ventriloquist, he would wash himself a bit more often. But
yeah, that's exactly what he would say. I knew a magician who pretended he was an old man just to do a trick with a fucking goldfish. Would you like to make a perception check? Yeah. See if you can see anything.
Oh no. So that's what am I looking at there? 12.
That's fair. This is an area that you know pretty well, and it's also coastal, so it is. Even though it's outside of the woods, there is a large forest not too far away. There is a very clear path. This is a destination for people who, mainly for burials out in the villages. They come here to bury their dead. You essentially live next to a graveyard. But it's a very nice graveyard near the sea where a lot of people do come to visit, and then through that they come to get to know you guys, and usually that's how you get work. But on the dirt road, about 5 minutes away, you can see a large horse-drawn carriage. And it's just got 2 horses, but they both seem to be moving at a very rapid pace.
All right. Towards us, presumably.
See.
I guess I would go and sit at the side of the road that is coming down, looking just like a normal. I say a normal wolf, but that sits by the side of the road. I just go and sit and wait for it to get closer.
Yeah, no worries. As you're sort of sat by the side, Kato's just walking around the nuns, getting scratches from all of them as they ash on him and things like that. Just because there's too many cigarettes not to ash on a small little halfling. Alfredo looks at the sundial, and at precisely 10 a.m., the carriage stops just on the road outside, and a gnome with long black hair tied up, a very trim beard, and piercings garnished in gold and diamonds, and a red suit jacket with black trims jumps down from the carriage and says, "Good morning," and looks directly at you, Lorcan, as a wolf, and says, "I believe I'm here to pick you up. My name is Jacopo. Are your friends inside?"
They are.
Excellent.
Can I ask exactly where you're taking us?
To the island of Catalan, and then claps his hands, and the doors magically open up and reveal this wonderful furnished carriage that seems a little larger on the inside.
Just slightly.
Just a little bit. It's already a big carriage,
Right.
but it seems like, just from a glance, you're like, the dimensions don't work. Like, what I can see doesn't fit the outside.
All right. Well, I'll go and find out if everyone's coming. And just a moment. Head off.
He
back
nods
towards
patiently and waits, yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
I don't know if anyone's looked out the window, but there's a big carriage. Apparently, they're going to take us to this meeting.
This just gets stranger and stranger.
Well, at least we're not paying for transport.
Very true.
Any reason why we think this person would want would not be on the level?
Well, it's definitely a trap. He's probably going to hunt us. Deadliest game. But what else are we going to do? Sit around here?
Have it.
What kind of vibe did I get off the
Make an insight check.
what was the name? Sorry,
Jacopo.
Jacopo. He?
Yeah, he, him, Jacopo.
What kind of vibe did I get off of?
Yeah, make an insight check. We'll see. Well, unless you want to use your passive, it's up to you.
My passive's 20, so.
All right. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Yeah, because you didn't actively think this is going on the level. It was just a very normal conversation. They seem to be a very well trained butler of some kind, of transport man. Like, they don't seem to be doing anything other than their job well, gracefully, and they seem to be, like, from what you've heard from, I don't know, I don't think it said anything about the Count of Callan to you, but they seem to be adorned in jewelry, which is unusual for a servant, but flashy.
Well, I don't think we can really tell whether it's going to be a trap until we get there. Certainly, if it is a trap, then whoever's setting it has a lot of wealth.
And did the seats of the carriage look like they had lumbar support? Because I'm getting on. If it's going to be a long journey, I'd like to be comfortable. If not, I can bring my own cushion.
It looked like a pretty well kitted out carriage, but I guess bringing a cushion couldn't hurt.
It
Actually,
just at a glance, it's the nicest carriage you've ever seen. So I don't know that might not.
It seemed very comfortable.
Oh, jolly good.
Worst comes to worst, we take the carriage.
Alfred turns to you all and is like, "Well, I've got your pat lunch here if you want them," and starts handing them out to you all. There's a little peanut butter sandwich. I know, some of you don't like peanut butter, so I replaced it with chocolate butter instead. And I'm gonna miss you very dearly, dears.
That's fine. That's
You are a miracle.
very nice.
Thank you, Alfredo.
We'll be back soon. Thank you very much.
I will take.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, go.
I will take Sister Elfrida's hands in mine and just inspect her pockets to see if she has any packs of cigarettes on her, because I know what she's like. She says she won't do it again, but you never know.
Are you like sifting through her pockets or just having like a cheeky glance?
I'm just having a cheeky glance. Although I'm a dwarf, so I'm sort of.
Yeah, the pockets are pretty empty. as she wanted to be one of the cool kids, but has resigned. She's resigned to her place in the world now.
I will just pat her hand and say, "Right you are, dear. We'll see you soon."
See you later, darling. Bye, darling. See you later. And she waves you out of the door when you're all leaving.
Have a lovely day.
Oh, I will. Have a lovely time. See you, I'm sure, soon. Right.
Slam the door.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so you enter the carriage.
What does the carriage look like from all of our... does it have a honey death trap vibe to it? Like a Count Dracula kind of, please get into our carriage kind of thing?
From the outside, it seems to be a carriage made of wood and metal. It's quite a sturdy box, as it were, but not with the cage vibe. It's painted wonderfully with, again, red and black accents. And as you get closer to the carriage door, Jacopo kicks this lever on the side hanging down and steps unwhirl, ready for you to step up quite comfortably rather than having to hike yourself up into the carriage. The door would fit all of you. It's a pretty large door, so there's no trouble squeezing in. It seems like it might have been made specifically for that, because not a lot of carriages would fit a Loxodon.
Yeah.
And if you do choose to go inside, unless you still think it's a trap.
No, I'm going.
We're going.
By this point, Larkin has been first out the door and has got Kato and is in first in the carriage.
Inside, it is larger than the outside, and it's set up in a circular room. And instead of chairs, it is cushioned sofas, and there's incense burning with a lovely aroma. So it gives you this sort of sandwood kind of warm feeling. There are little bits of alcohol in bottles around, and then there's also glasses set for you guys if you wish to have some. There's also little snacks in little bowls, nuts, things like that, fruits. Nothing in the way of literature or anything like that, but it seems like a very convenient place to be. And it is furnished with gold trimmings and very luscious. It's extravagant.
Varia cracks open a pack of peanuts.
Oh gosh, dear. All over you.
Oh well.
Suppose
All
this
going
one's
in
for
the
me.
same poll.
Awesome. So,
Lovely. It's
onwards then. The door closes, and Jacopo, you hear them get up on the top of it, and the carriage moves. And whilst you can see the outside moving really fast, the inside seems to be very stable. There is no trouble there with drinks falling or anything like that. Is there anything you wish to sort of take part into or enjoy or anything like that? I know that feels like a trap.
It does rather. What alcohols are there? It's very early in the day. It's 10 a.m.
There's that what's it called, Bucks Fizz with orange juice for a morning drink.
Nice. Yeah, no, I don't want to. I'm just Voight is looking around and be like, I have the slight suspicion that we're being invited to join a brothel going on by the things that are around us in here. I mean, fancy by all means, but the last time I was treated so kindly.
When you were invited to join a brothel?
Yeah, the emperor of it's a long story. I shan't bore you with it, but good cushions, I remember, and good finger food.
I gesture at Lorcan. You think they want Lorcan to join a brothel?
Well, yes, 2 for the price of 1. I mean,
bloody hope not. I think Lorcan would be giving the food and drinks a sniff just to check, nothing's poisoned or anything.
Is KO definitely just already mouthful in something?
So no, I think in situations like this, Kato, I've got him trained that if I stay right next to him, he kind of tends to sort of behave, and he knows not to just fucking grab things and stuff.
He's in
so I've got him to sit down, and I'm having a check out of the food before I give him the okay.
Wunderbar. Okay. Everybody else just kind of okay with the journey? Just happy to let it pass?
Wait, do they have any brandy?
Yes, there's like a small bottle of it's the travel size bottles of brandy.
But there's quite a few of them. How many would you like?
As many that will fit in my bag.
Yeah, you can steal all the brandy you like.
I will do that.
I'd like to, if it feels like unnaturally still, like the inside compared to the outside, I'd like to roll perception or whatever you'd like me to figure out whether it's like wizard space.
Okay, yeah, I think the best roll for that would be an Arcana check.
That's a good point. Hold on. Oh, good. My favorite. That's cocked. 4.
It's
perhaps I could help you there, Varia. Are you? What is it you're examining?
I wanted to know why inside is so still, but outside is so fast.
Ah, the quantum instability. Well, I see. I think I know my way around this. Perhaps could I give them advantage on their roll?
Yes. Quantum instability.
The quantum instability.
Yeah.
That sounds like something, but it's a 16. So that's much better. I love the word quantum and instability.
Quantum school.
You've lived an amazing life.
When you inspect the carriage, you sort of have a little look around the corners of the room, and you've noticed that in rather than gold, it's silver. There seems to be like arcane ruins, and they don't glow, but have like a slight humming noise. It's not very perceptible until you get very close, but you understand that these are arcane ruins that seem to be casting a dimensional spell that allows like a little pocket dimension to exist within the carriage.
We're in a pocket dimension, like the one you have, Voight.
Larger and far better furnished. How curious. Must be someone quite powerful that we're going to meet.
Okay.
Are there windows? Or was it completely?
Yeah, you can. If you opened one, you'd feel the breeze. Like everything still works as normal.
You stick your head out, you're still just.
Yeah, you'd be very like it'd be like the normal size of the outside of the carriage, but your head would be out there.
I do just do that, just to sort of like yeah. Well, the windows are windows.
They
Again,
usually are.
Good to know.
Not always,
Well,
actually. Another time.
Excellent. So this journey takes you all the way to a tavern. You travel all day. The sun does start to set, but in between that time, Jacopo has come down to check if you need any food. But if you refuse, because you've got your packed lunch
Said
as
dinner
well.
was provided.
Right, just nuts and brandy. I mean,
Excellent. No, he would then magic food for you guys, and on the table in the middle, food would appear for you, and again, very luscious, very extravagant kinds of things. They seem to know a lot about your dietary requirements and your dietary taste. Jacopo creates something that specifically you would like, so I don't know if you want to go into what that would be for your character.
Pop-Tarts all the way for Voight.
I think Lorcan finds that stuff that he used to really enjoy tastes different now, and so there are certain things where he's just like, I just can't get something that tastes like that used to. So there are some things where he's just like, oh wow, okay, this is unusual. I have not had anything like this since I became like this.
Yeah, I think Varia is tasting what Lorcan used to cook in the early days of, being inside rather than always camping outside and on the hearth. Speaking of which, everybody, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Am I allowed to eat while we're on stream? I can't remember.
Doesn't bother me.
I'll keep myself muted. I won't make chewing noises, I promise. I'm so hungry.
It's all good. And we're talking about food, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's the eating scene. It's all good.
Yeah. Tom?
I don't know if I'm going to eat any of it. I think
That's fine. No, yeah, you
I
don't
think my
have to.
paranoia, sort of is kicking in here, where I'm just like, sort of like going, could he have poisoned it if it's just summoned Actually, can I make an insight check about that?
Yeah, make an insight check on Jacopo.
Oh, that's a 25.
Jacopo is doing their best to make sure you have the best time that he can provide.
Right. Okay.
And he takes his job very seriously.
I do appreciate that. No, I'm still. I think I've got my packed lunch from someone I trust.
Yeah, that's fine. This is about midday. This would have happened midday. The journey takes longer. So you still have your packed lunch if you want to eat that, of course. Liz?
Seeing that Ilex is not partaking in the food presented, Agnes will just say, "Just get it down, you dear, it won't kill you," and then she'll proceed to consume the whole beetroots with the skin still on. Very smelly fish, just to be that asshole in the enclosed space, and more brandy.
Excellent. So later on in the evening, the carriage pulls up. Another curious thing about this journey is that there are occasional stops, and what you notice is that the horses have been run out to the maximum speed that they can. They stop for maybe a minute, and like race car drivers in Formula One, they put new horses in and they set off again. So that's happened a few times on the journey, but it gets quite late, and Jacopo opens the door for you, and you're outside a traveling tavern, and he says, "Please, rooms have been rented. If you'd like to sleep, the journey will take another 2 days."
Oh, right. I thought we were just going for a meal, but all right, yeah.
Oh, meals and everything's been provided to the specifications that my master has asked for.
Yes. I understand. Just the invites we got were somewhat vague. That's not your fault.
No, he's like that.
Could you possibly furnish us with a little bit more information? 3 days travel is quite an extreme intervention.
Of course. We must travel through the Sunset Mountains, and we're going to be docking at Prosca. And then we'll be docking the Mint Diamond, and we'll be sailing to the island of Catala.
Gosh, but why, I suppose, is the main thrust of my inquiry.
That's where the Count lives.
No. Yes, but what is it that the Count wants with us? The invitations were ornate, sure, but sparse.
I presume that he wants something of you.
Yes. Have you any idea what that is?
No, I am not privy to that kind of information.
Oh gosh, could I
will insight check that?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Same.
Liar!
Annoyingly. Well, how do you handle passive and
if you're actively, it's one of those things that, like, if you're saying to me, "Niall, I want to know what this person's saying now," that's an active. But like earlier, where you were like, "Oh, I just had a conversation with that guy. What was the vibe?"
Yeah.
Then it's a passive. Because it's kind of like a memory. It's like, what's the...
But the active check can be lower than the passive.
Yeah, it's if you're looking into somebody, sometimes their mannerisms will take you off guard, whereas on hindsight, you'd be like, that motherfucker doesn't like me.
Yeah. Cool. In that case, that's a 17.
24.
17? 24? Anybody else roll?
16.
A 60.
Varyo's going to take him at his word, like, sick.
24.
Jacopo, for Alex and Lorcan, seems like honest. Like, they don't seem to be, like, they aren't privy to this information. Voight, Jacopo wouldn't even think of questioning his master. That's the level of little he knows.
Wow.
He doesn't even you get the vibe that the master doesn't even say jump, and Jacopo knows what he wants.
Wow, that's intense.
Similar to how Jacopo knew what you wanted. Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, but we just met, so that's all equally curious. But anyway, if I feel that, then I will almost pity the individual. But
he seems very happy about it, though. Like, he's not put down by it. You can tell that he really enjoys his job.
Okay. Oh, in that case, I'll just not waste any further time asking someone who doesn't know stuff.
No worries. So you go inside the tavern. The tavern owners shower you with attention, asking you if if anything's wrong with the room, please let us know. Please let us know. And they lead you up to different rooms. Each of you has your own individual room, but it is again done out in this like just extravagant decadence of comfort and pomp and flavor. There's just everything there that you could possibly want, even if like a midnight snack. And then because it is dinner time, you do get a knock at the door, and the tavern owners do bring you a meal, again specially prepared for you. Doesn't seem like this tavern doesn't seem like it should hold this quality of food, and it doesn't seem like it should hold this quality of room, but it does. It's like a magical cave within a cave.
Can I check again for wizard space?
This time, just because you know what you're looking for, you notice that there's no dimensional doors. This has just been like converted. Like somebody has just come in and changed this room upside down to fit how it looks now.
I'm going to go and find the tavern owner then.
Yeah, of course. You can do this. You can have this conversation when they bring you their food. So,
Right.
Like a lovely tiefling comes up to you and brings you food and is like, "Hi there, please let us know if there's anything wrong." And
Nothing wrong. I just want to know. You do this yourself, or you hire a contractor?
Oh, I didn't do anything. The count provided all the builders. It's been like a few days doing this. I have to say it's the fastest I've ever seen anybody work in my entire life. And
Did you get a business card, maybe?
It's not. I didn't organize it. It was the count.
Sure, but it's your building.
And he paid a lot of money for it.
Right, did he say why?
He said he had guests, which I assume are you. Oh, sorry, down there. From another door.
No, I'm not asking because I don't like it or whatever. I just want to know because this is beautiful work, and if we make enough, maybe we hire somebody to fix the fucking roof.
The tiefling sort of looks at you with like wide eyes at this fix the fucking roof comment. It's like, yeah, I mean, turns to Voight as well because a bit scared of the giant Loxodon that's just been screaming. Maybe you can talk to the count about it. But yeah, just give us a little bell if you need anything.
Thank you. Sorry for loud. It's Varia, just like very aware of accidentally intimidating someone, just very gently tries to close the door.
Yeah, the tiefling looks at you, Voight, and says, "Your food will be ready in a second," and they scamper off downstairs.
Great.
Awesome. So the next day arises, very similar, 10 a.m. on the dot, Jacopo. You hear a knock at each of your doors at the exact same time, and when you open, Jacopo's just stood there waiting for you guys outside. He indicates that it's time to leave and waits for you to get in the carriage. I assume, yeah, there's no...
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. This journey happens again for the next few days. And as it goes, I'm guessing you start partaking more in the food that's provided, Alex?
I mean, I've been trying to ration it, but I said Agnes, who was like, just eat. You know, and that's sort of like, I don't think it's cruel, but I think it's that sort of thing where it's just like, look, if someone's going to poison you, they're going to poison you. And he's like, all right. And so, yeah, I think he starts partaking and starts sleeping in the beds, because previously he's been like hiding and he's been checking for he's like, there's got to be a trapdoor. It's going to be one of those things where they're either going to stretch me or they're going to chop my feet off or just...
God, that's super paranoid. I love it.
Yeah, no, because that's the thing. Like, from saying, "Oh, you're not being poisoned," he's like, "I've been to dinner parties where people have been poisoned. It's bad." And then just like, it's not that situation. It's weird, but it's not that. So I think, yeah, he's like one of those people on the road trip who's got like really tight and then slowly starts unraveling. He's like, yeah, maybe I will use one of the toilets at the gas station. Push the boat out.
Beautiful. Yeah, so you pass through these wonderful mountains, and there are like just these amazing views that you go by. You've probably not seen much of the Sword Coast in this sort of speed, but the longer views are wonderful. You do get the full view. Some of the roads that maybe for the more well-traveled people you don't even recognize. You get a feeling that these are kind of well-traveled roads, but only for this carriage. You've never come across this road before, and it seems maybe this is specific for this carriage. Just from the knowledge of the specificity of everything else, maybe this also falls in line with that. But you get to Proska, and you get to the town, and the carriage takes you all the way to the dock. You don't even stop. The speed is just consistently fast. And Jacopo stops the carriage outside at a dock board where you see a large ship called the Mint Diamond, currently being boarded by sailors, cargo being wheeled on. And he opens the door for you and he says, "All aboard." It's daytime. Sorry, it's early morning.
Will you be joining us, Giacomo? Was it?
Jacopo.
Jacopo. How very silly of me. Will you be joining us on this Mint Diamond?
I will indeed. If you'd like, I can introduce you to the captain. Grenskerd Acton.
Captain?
Grenskerd. Do you want the spelling for that?
Just surname.
Actind.
Captain Actind.
Captain Actind.
Got you.
That was gold. How long will we be at sea, do you think?
Less than a day.
Less than a day, gosh.
The Mint Diamond sails very, very fast.
How is it powered? Can we see? Is there sails?
Yeah, it's just a regular boat. It's just a wonderful ship. I shouldn't call it a boat. All those Navy enthusiasts out there will be screaming at me. But yeah, it's a wonderful, beautiful ship. Again, this one isn't with the black and red theme. This is like a well ornate ship. It's got a few floors, but it is for cargo hauls rather than passengers.
Is it flying? Sorry.
Yeah, go.
Is it flying colours? So like a flag?
It's not flying colours, no. Which is, I don't know, up to however you think.
Oh, I'm paranoid. I'm like, this is all weird.
Yeah, do you make your way on board the boat?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In for a penny.
I'm just building trust for you guys, you know what I mean?
Not gonna happen.
That's not what I would call what's happening.
No.
You're building suspense.
Yeah.
So you get upon the boat, and you're greeted by Captain Acton, who is a gold dragonborn with a large brimmed hat, very, very wonderful. They're tricorns, aren't they? Wonderful tricorn hat. But it's not. What you've had usually is this lavish look of things and that sort of treatment. This is a bit more rough and ready. It is a lovely big tricorn, but it is battened and sea worn, and they're scurvy dogs, aren't they? Kind of thing. But yeah, he greets you and says, "Excellent, lovely to meet you."
And you, I'm sure.
Pleasure.
Let me show you to your quarters. He goes downstairs, and again, there's rooms for individually each of you, but these are, again, a contrast to the ship, wonderful adornments. And he directs you each to your rooms and says, "Anything you need, you please come to me. I'll find it for you, but food will be provided. We shall arrive around about 9 p.m., I should think."
Did a team of builders come and outfit these rooms? Do you have a business card? Know who did it?
The Count did this many years ago for any of the passengers he asked of us.
Does he often ask for passengers?
Occasionally.
What happens to them? Do you often give them a return journey?
Almost certainly.
Oh, and do they return much as they arrive?
He giggles and then sort of says, "Wealthier."
Oh, how do they come by their wealth, do you think?
He looks at you with a cocked head and an eyebrow raised and just says, "How do you think?"
I literally have absolutely no idea.
I walked my room, brothel.
No,
I think we're all being seduced. I think we're all being, they were like, "This is the life you could have if only you marry me." I feel like that's where this is going.
How much do you know about the Count personally?
he's a friend. He looks after me and my crew and has done for many years. I remember him when he was a younger man. Not much of himself, and I'm very grateful to know him now that he has made more of his life.
Any idea why on earth he would want the fire station to come out and see him? It's a long way, huge expense. Ball Lake?
Who's the fire station?
Oh, it's us. Right,
Oh.
Sorry, hello.
Hi, fire station.
It's
See you all.
Force. Vari, we decided on force because fire station is the building. It was never mind.
Sorry, Fire Force, we live in this...
Somewhat beside the point, but can you think why the Count might want our services?
He leans against his wall, like of the inside of the boat, quite casually, like he owns it, because he does. And sort of looks at you and says, "Well, what is it you do?"
Sort of difficult to describe. We help people sometimes.
We solve problems.
We solve problems. I like that.
Well, then my guess would be that the Count has a problem that needs solving. He shrugs.
I mean, I'll insert that again. It's a bit fair. 26.
He thinks the Count needs you because clearly you're good at what you do. Just like he is good at what he does.
Okay.
Can I just say that is one smashing hat?
Thank you. I've heard it for many years. And he's just sort of like, you can almost hear the shing as he brings his claw down it. And he gives you a golden twinkle in his eye and then says, "We must be setting sail soon if we want to arrive in time. The Count is not somebody I want to displease."
Why? What happens if you displease him?
I would be upset. He's a very good friend.
That seems quite a reasonable answer.
Count is certainly someone that likes to keep around people that are loyal to him.
Well, that's what friends are, aren't they?
I don't know, are they?
It's just a cold moment in that room with all of you stood there.
Side-eye Varia.
Yeah, Jacopo just like looks uncomfortably.
He seems to like having people around that won't question him.
Well, I never really thought of it that way. I guess he's the kind of man that when he leads you into the storm, you still feel safe.
Well, at the moment we feel, I think, largely uncertain as we've been given no real information. I wonder what he did to establish such a firm trust with you.
Well, he's probably the finest captain I've ever seen.
Why so?
Well, we found him many years ago now from a shipwreck, and he worked just as a regular sailor. Well, and then when one of my, unfortunate turns at sea, he took over and sailed better than any man I've ever witnessed. So I owe a great lot to him. The ship would probably not exist if he hadn't taken us out of that storm.
Is Count a hereditary title, or is it more like a title of respect, or...
He's a self-made Count. He wasn't a Count when I first met him, but he is now.
Okay.
So what did you know him as when you brought him out of the sea?
Christopher.
Who made him a count? Who bestowed...
Himself. Yeah,
I don't think that's how it works. I think you have to, bestow a title from a lord, isn't that...
he bought the land. The land of cattle.
Oh, I see.
Thus became a Count because he owned his own land and became royalty.
Was he
but
wealthy when you first met him?
No, he was a shipwrecked sailor. But I seriously must start getting everything on board. If you would like to follow me up on top of the ship, then you are more than welcome to. But I must inspect the last of our cargo coming in. And he nods you all curtly, politely, and then leaves.
I think I'll let him leave.
You can follow. He did say if you want to be on top of the ship, and walk around.
I'll turn to everybody else with an expression of just WTF, like slightly exasperated.
I don't know.
I agree.
They're either going to hunt us, eat us, or put us in the brothel. My money's on the brothel at the moment.
Right.
Or maybe there's, I don't know, a demon.
Snog, marry, devour. It's always snog, marry, devour.
That's how it breaks down.
If he's a count, I vote marry. I mean, if this is the standard of living,
Alex sort of leans back and is like, all right, who's going to marry the count? Do we need to pull straws? Do we need to flip a coin? How are we going to decide?
I've just volunteered, Alex. What?
Boy is eyeing Varia up and down, wondering if it comes down to a bare knuckle fight for the count's hand in marriage. They don't fancy their chances.
Maybe it's a foot race. Who knows? A sailing race.
You think maybe he also has undead problem?
I think everyone has an undead problem, dear. They're quite irksome.
They are.
I thought you just meant, like, not being dead.
That is a big problem.
Life is just
Life is a continuous
problem.
Yeah.
That's bleak.
Yeah, that is.
It's true.
Cleric of the grave, baby.
Sure.
Can be arranged, no.
Awesome. So, what do you guys? Are you guys staying below deck or above deck just before it sets sail?
No, I've never been on an oldie worldy ship. I'm going to go up top and look at the view.
I'll go before you.
Awesome. You can see.
I think I'm up top with making sure Kato doesn't fall into the ocean.
I'm up top because I like the wind in my ears.
Amazing.
Agnes, do you want to join the crew?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Because you kind of having just just this sort of passive look around and stuff, I'll just sort of feed you. The crew themselves seem to be very, they're not they're sailors, but they're not like the nicest looking sailors. There's some grim scars and some, battle wounds hanging around. They don't look the friendliest bunch, but they treat you with the utmost respect. Like whenever you walk by, they move out of the way. If they're carrying something, they stop for you to move past and then continue onwards. You get a feeling that they know who you are because you're not usually on the ship, kind of thing. But the first thing you do notice, as well as the crew sort of accommodating you, is that a sort of large wooden crane is pulling in a massive crate of cargo that is going into the middle of the ship. It's getting lowered. The Captain Acton, is just surveying this from the wheel very casually. And as soon as that's boarded, everything's pulled up for docking, and sails are loosened, and they set sail.
The thing that was is it in crates?
It was one large crate.
And is it open to the sky, or is it closed now? Is there a lid in the ship?
So the middle of the ship, you know how they have that opening in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't know much about
No, right.
The ship flat.
Is there in the movies? Yeah, they have that big thing, yeah. So that's been opened up. That's been put in the middle. That's been closed.
So if you go below deck, you could probably get to the cargo hold.
Or I could send my invisible sprite, see if there's a hole in the doorway, and crawl around and...
Oh, the invisible sprite could just go straight through the middle, because the middle's got...
Colin.
What is the fire? Is there fire everywhere?
Colin, little bit of recon, Colin. Little bit of recon. You're up for a little bit of recon, yeah? I'll give instructions. Go scout, find out what's in the box. What's in the box?
Oh, no, no, the box. Okay. Yes, Colin. You can do this.
Don't get caught, Colin.
What? Okay. All right.
He's died so many times.
I'm still here.
Sorry, Colin. You've never died.
No, it's okay.
You're brand new. Yeah.
All right. I just want to say before I die, love you. And then flies off. You just hear the flutter of wings as your sprite goes off. They can telepathically communicate, can't they?
Yes. As long as we're on the same plane of existence.
Excellent. All right. So in your ear, you can just in the back of your ear, almost like you never left your shoulder. Colin's like, okay. I'm looking for the big crate that just got put in here.
Yes.
Oh, one second. Okay. There's a big book there. It's all right. He's gone. Okay. All right. Bit of a problem. It's a crate.
Inside the crate, Colin.
Yeah, but there's no door. It's a crate.
Not like an inch door, Colin.
Yeah, but it's. Oh, alright, you know what? Does Colin have stats, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Can you make a strength check for him?
Strength check for Colin. Oh, with a -4. Go, Colin.
Come on, Colin, we believe in you.
Colin rolls an unnatural 1.
Oh, no.
Colin!
You can just hit.
Come on, Colin. Come on.
And you know that Colin has been sent back to the demi plane that he comes from when he dies.
Oh, it's happened again. Well, thought we might find out what was inside, but apparently not. I've just killed poor Colin.
Have we ever seen Colin?
Oh yeah, Colin is visible most of the time.
Okay.
He's like just a tiny, ordinary person, and he's got a World War I helmet on, and is otherwise dressed as a sprite and has little zizzy wings and a bow and arrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love him.
Well, he's dead now, so
He'll be back though. You can always get him.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome. So, Colin's unfortunately just passed away, but would you... The ship is just at full force, moving, going, everybody's, tying knots, doing whatever you do on a ship, I don't know. But it's moving at full force.
Is it moving naturally?
Yeah.
Sort of the winds.
Yeah, the winds are taking place. The captain seems to be very easily maneuvering out of the dock wards, out into the open sea, and sailing quite fast.
I would like to know what's inside those crates. Does anyone else have, I don't know, any ideas?
could just go down and look.
And see.
Sorry.
See what it smells like.
Let's do that. Let's take a stroll.
Awesome. So you guys head down. Yeah. Is everybody going?
Yes.
So you head down to the cargo hold, and outside the door is a bugbear. Large, gun, big teeth, just sort of jutting out of his jaw. And he's just laid just against the wall, again, very casually, like he's been there for years. And he sees you guys approaching, and he just sort of like stands up and he's like, how may I help you?
Afternoon. We were just curious. We're exploring the ship a little, and we're curious about the cargo. What is it? Do you mind if I ask?
The cargo is many different things. This is the cargo hold, and the cargo is what we deliver generally.
Specifically, the large crate that was loaded on just before we left.
He looks inside the room, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know. I think that's for this journey. Is this your cargo?"
Yes, and we need to examine to make sure it didn't get broken in the transportation.
Make a deception check.
Oh lordy, that's an 18.
Right, well, let me get it open for you.
Thank you very much, my good man.
Inside, pulls out a crowbar and just starts like, eek, and you can see like.
I just like to. Lorcan just like gives Alex a look and like, oh wow, that worked.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.
I am actually a lord, by the way, and I'm a factor.
What? What is your
Of course you are, dear.
The bugbear slams the crowbar in, and just next to where the crowbar hits the sides of the crate, you can see a little bit of like green blood. As it yanks open, the nails pop on either side, and the bugbear rips it off, and looks over, and he's like, "Oh, is everything in order?"
Do you mind if I just have a quick
Moves alongside for you guys to have a look.
Yeah. Just
you have a look, and inside the crate is padded with like straw and hay, but in the middle, quite nicely crammed in, is this black box with red accents this time, and there is a very large lock attached to it, and there's not just one but three
locks.
Yeah, and they're on either side. The hinges on the back, one lock on either side and one lock on the top.
How big is the box?
it's like the crate itself was about, let's say, 10 foot wide. So the box inside is probably about 7 foot.
So it's not me size, but it's only just not me size.
Yeah, lengthwise, it's like if you laid next to it, it'd probably be about the same length as you.
Jeez.
Who's the smallest?
Everybody look at
Probably Kato.
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 Yeah, Kato's the smallest.
Yeah, as you ask who's the smallest, Kato like looks at you like.
Yeah, I don't know. Kato is the right person for this job.
What did you have in mind?
Well, which is just sort of touching the side of the thing. Matter is, as I mentioned before, it's not quite as impermeable as it likes to suggest. I'd probably get somebody to the other side of it, I think, to have a little look-see, unless anyone's got better ideas.
Most of my
if
ideas.
it's not yours, can you not just open it?
Oh no, it is ours, obviously. It's ours.
We don't have keys on us right now. You know how it is. Been
Clever.
traveling lots.
Yeah. Smart.
You know.
Just a little nodding, like, yes, we're very smart.
Yeah.
Do we have any casters among us? Any?
I mean, I'm a warlock, but I brought very specific sort of unuseful spells. But I do have Dimension Door with me, so I could teleport inside the box and hope that there is room.
There is room for your body. You like,
There might be something else in there, presumably.
exactly.
Right. That could be messy. Though potentially fun.
Before you attempt anything, my dear, can I detect? I don't have the detect magic spell, but would I be able to get a sense of whether something magical would keep something out?
Make an Arcana check.
I'm really missing that spell.
That's a 17 plus 1, 18.
Whilst this inner case is very ornate, it doesn't seem magical in nature.
It doesn't appear to have anything magical for me to dispel, so you could give it a go, Voight.
Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to guess that there's probably something where if there's a lid, I'm going to go in and try and like attach myself the other side to the lid. Dimension Door is precise, I believe. To any other spot within range, I arrive exactly as described. So I'm imagining I'm hoping there's something not right up to the lid, but we'll see. And I might have to. I've got a reaction spell in my head in case it all goes horribly wrong. So I've cast it.
Yeah. So how does your Dimension Door like form?
It's like a ball of energy that it if it was near other objects, it would like cut into those objects, but it doesn't. You know, I'm stealing special effects from Terminator 2.
Terminator,
so she sort of sounds like that.
Excellent. As you and this like electric ball of energy overtakes your body and then disappears. You're transported into. Do you have dark vision? No.
I don't know that I do. Oh no, I do.
Excellent. You're transported into a very plush leather casing, but the first uncomfortable feeling you have is the dropping on a small box on your abdomen.
Oh, it lands on me, I land on it. So there's another
You
box.
land on it because you wanted to come at the top.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, oof.
You can have a little look at it. There's enough space inside the box.
Is this one also locked?
This one seems to have. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube. It moves as you touch it. It's a puzzle box, but this one seems to have, like, you can see. You've come across enough arcane runes to know when you see a magic box when you see one.
I am going to face step back out of the box with the puzzle box.
Oh, with the puzzle box. Excellent.
Absolutely. This is above my pay grade. I can't solve this, but I will zip back into where I was a moment ago. Or I might have to use Dimension Door again because I can't see where I'm going. There's no holes in this in the big box, is there? To look through.
Not in the big box, no.
Okay, no, I'll have to use my.
You can try and push against. You know what? If you push against the lid, enough, there's like a small gap of light.
Okay.
Might constitute as a hole.
if I can get my eye to it and see outside, then I'll
Yeah.
teleport that way, and hopefully reappear with the puzzle box from inside.
Yeah.
And I will pass it, I think, to Alex. Alex, a little bit above my pay grade. Any ideas?
Well, of course I do. It is my puzzle box. Thank you very much. And I sort of I put it in a pocket and then touch the bugbear and go, excellent, well done. If you could seal it up again, much appreciated.
Oh, all right. And then he picks up the lid and just hammers the nails back into the crate, and just sort of looks confused. Like, is there anything else that I could possibly do? And he does this really awkward bow for you.
I sort of ignore it. I'm like, no, you've done an excellent job. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Frunba.
Thank you very much, Frunba.
Thank you.
And then sort of trying to walk out, just yep, I'm a lord. I'm a lord on a ship. Things good.
I love
Awesome.
Frunba.
Let's adopt him. Let's take him with us.
Frunba's gonna get so fired.
It's true.
Shit. Okay, so do you go to your rooms? Why you?
Yeah, I'll follow Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Alex.
I think sort of subtly kind of going, okay, we're playing this cool. That's sort of oh, we're having a conversation. Oh, we're looking over there. And then sort of go, oh, should we just check something in our room? And then
Nobody's there. Nobody's watching.
No one we can see.
Oh, you got me. You got me good.
Oh.
Ow.
As we go past a painting and the eyes go.
I mean, actually, yeah, I would be having a scout around checking.
Make a perception check.
We've just nicked a thing. I want to make sure that nobody's kind of following or paying attention to us.
Yeah, make a perception check.
23.
No one to see. So
Okay.
you all bundle into presumably Alex's room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put on the floor. Investigation check or
Yeah, make a. What are you looking for?
So now in sort of the daylight, are there runes on it? Does it look like there's a puzzle to it, or does it look like it just slides?
Yeah, there's definitely a puzzle to it. The combination could be because it's got. Imagine a Rubik's cube. They've got six segments. Yeah, 6 segments on either side. So it's a lot of combinations.
And
9 on each side.
are they coloured or?
Thank you. Yeah, it's 9.
No, okay.
Perhaps Varia.
It's again this kind of
What do you want me to
brass. It's this brass metal box
do? Oh,
with these runes on.
I'm always happy to hit something.
Yeah.
Just sort of put up a finger and go, sometimes with these sort of things that they put acid in it. So if you get it wrong, it destroys the note.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that is problematic. Why are we doing this?
Because I
It's
don't trust
curiosity.
the person that has spent all this money to get us somewhere without telling us what they want. So a little bit of research. I'll put it back.
Okay. You want I should hit it or not?
I'll follow Alex's lead.
No.
Perhaps not hit it yet.
Okay.
We got a mending cantrip.
And it's definitely not magical, this box.
You haven't made a check for it.
Maybe someone should.
Boy, you're
Um,
quite good at the whole
I'm
magical
a
thing.
+0 in Arcana.
Oh,
no, well, I've got Kato with us, and Kato still is being the body, still has to do all the spells and stuff. Kato, come over here and have a look at this box. Is it magic? And he casts detect magic.
So Kato picks up the box and says, you've got what languages? Is it Giant, Draconic?
I've got giant, halfling, draconic, common, and celestial.
So in draconic, Kato like puts the box up to his nose and like whispers "Soto," and you see him cast a spell, and then looks at the box like outstretched, looks at Lorcan in wolf form, and just goes.
Okay, good. Now, what? I think we've got a thing worked out that like for different types of magic, he doesn't know like what evocation is or what that is, but he can see the difference. And so for different types of magic, he will touch Lorcan, or he'll touch himself actually, in like different places like hands or whatever. So, what kind of magic are you seeing?
He moves his fingers across his face to indicate enchantment magic.
Enchantment. Okay. Well, it's an enchanted box. It's hardly surprising.
Agnes will cast Dispel Magic on the box.
Hold this out, Kato.
So Kato holds up the box for you again with like two hands, and you cast Dispel Magic, and you hear a slight like.
Now
like
you want I should hit it, or?
Kato, is it still magic?
Well, there's the possibility of whatever value it was worth we've just removed. So, I mean, sometimes you want to solve a puzzle. Sometimes you just want to hit it with a hammer.
Well, I'm fine with you solving it, but I'm not going to pretend that I know how to look at a 9-sided cube with 6 sides of 9 sides and understand what to do with it.
What sort of time is it?
It's not. It's been like less than an hour since you've set off on your journey.
And we said we were going to be there about 9 p.m.
No.
Yeah, so you got like another like.
Why don't you give it a go?
10 hours.
I think that's the sort of thing. Sort of like, again, sitting down on the floor, rolling the shoulders, and like, right, puzzle.
Okay, while he does his puzzle thing, anybody want a cup of tea or something?
My God, yes, please.
Love a rest, and I need to do this pollen anyway. So,
all right, I'm going to go find the snacks.
I think Lorcan would help out with the puzzle box as well.
Yeah, you hear at the door.
I can't touch anything. But...
Wait, we hear a knock.
Yeah, I hear a knock at the door.
They fit in my pocket. And that is why we can't sail. Yes, come in.
I want to go over to the door and sniff, see if I recognize the scent.
Just a minute.
Make a perception check at advantage.
We're all naked.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, you know the scent well from the days traveling with them. It's Jacopo.
Jacopo, come on in.
The door opens and Jacopo pops his head and says, "I'm just wondering. It's getting you. I know you ate quite early on, so I was just wondering if you want any tea or anything."
Can you hear me when I say tea? What?
No, but after the last few days of working with you, I know that you like your tea around this time.
It's quite sinister.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's the usual then, I suppose.
Yeah, he
5
points at
cups
you
of
like...
your...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
5 cups of your finest sinister tea, if you please.
He laughs and is like, "Oh, Agnes, your humour will never, ever bore." And then...
Shade.
The rattle sound from RuPaul's Drag Race needs to be edited in.
And then they go out. Presumably, about 5 minutes later, they'll bring it back. If you want to kind of do anything in that time, or unless you just want to kind of leave this to like, we're gonna wait until he comes back with the tea, then we're gonna continue fucking with the box.
And then I'm going to go somewhere far away on ship, and I will say tea somewhere else.
Okay.
And if he shows up, maybe we are summoning him.
Summoning
would be good to know.
Awesome. So about 5-10 minutes later, he brings back all your favorite teas that you've had over the last few days. Leaves. Varia, you go to the other side of the ship and shout tea.
No. Can I not shout it? Can I just like in a totally normal volume go? It would sure be nice to have some tea around about now.
Frogbar looks at you and he's like, "Yeah, I'd go kill for a cuppa," and nothing happens. Nobody comes up to you. Jacopo's not to be seen. But in terms of the box, are you actually trying to work it out? Are you just doing combinations?
I think I am going to try and work it out. I think it would be foolish just to, because as I said, I think I know that sometimes there may be like a hidden needle or acid or, as I said, the paranoia from having been sprayed in the face by a puzzle box before.
How long do you want to spend doing this?
Maybe 3 hours.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Again, not going at great speed. Taking
your time.
Yeah, I think for anyone else who's with me, it's kind of boring because it's a lot of me just staring at it and then going.
Yeah, you know that the chances of this are very hard. I'm just going to put that out there. Like the chances of getting this combination is very, very, very hard. What's your intelligence modifier?
My intelligence is +3.
+3. Okay, just make 3 intelligence checks.
That's 6. That's a 11, and that's a 21.
You've been playing with this thing for a while. The first hour goes by, and you're like, I don't fucking know. Second hour goes by, and you're like, I really fucking don't get this. But the third hour goes by, and you're starting to like get yourself into the mindset of somebody who would use a puzzle box, and you're like, yes, the combination must be this. And as you hear the clicking sounds, click, 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 nothing happens. The third hour, you're like, I thought I really had it, and you were this close.
Is incredibly annoying. I say to myself.
It's doable, but it's a hard check. How would you like to spend the rest of the ship time, guys? You've probably got about 6 hours left. You've been fed in this time as well. Like over the 3 hours, food's probably coming now. And
does our bugbear friend get his cup of tea eventually?
Oh yeah, there's tea time for all the sailors at some point. Like,
okay.
Yeah, whilst you're up on deck, you do see Frabar with Nickwy Bulby having a bit of a chat, and they're just having the best of time. That's his orc friend. That they're just palling about, being an orc and a bugbear. You know how it is.
Stop it, dude! Stop it!
Stop tickling me.
you get on, man.
I won't stop tickling you.
I love you, dude. Yeah, I love those guys. I will have had a short rest if that's okay at some point.
Get the spells back. No.
And I'll resummon Colin. But otherwise, I'll just sit in the room, and if Alex wants to help or not, then we can always try it with Vario smashing potentially. If that's a terrible idea.
I mean, I'm happy for you to. I think we're sharing solutions still quietly.
Well, what do you think, Alex? Do you want to give it another shot? You look. Is it tiring? I don't know.
I mean, obviously I want us to be able to get it back in time. I don't want to run. I mean, I'm happy to.
Sure.
Yeah, you can spend the rest of the time again. Like, we'll call it 5 rolls. You can have 5 rolls to see if you can do better than 21. But that will mean the time will have passed. Then you'll be at your destination.
Maybe we should leave a couple of hours at least in case there are
complications.
Issues. Yeah.
Make it 3 then. You can have another 3 rolls.
I'll make it another 3.
But you'll have time to do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Can I add like advantage somehow?
No, just because this is already
yeah,
quite.
All right.
You've got advantage.
I would like to see how you would have done that, where you were just like.
I would have done my equivalent of cheerleading, mate.
I think you're
You can do it.
I think you're still doing it. That's still suddenly going, yes.
We'll sit here, yes. Has he got it? Has he got it? Has he got it?
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. No.
Give me a 21.
No.
Give me a 20. All right. Yeah, the rest of the hours go by. You've got like, if maybe one of you or two of you have been up on deck, and the captain, Captain Acton, has come up to you and pointed out an island off in the distance and given you a telescope to look through. It's getting a bit dark now, but they've said that's the island you'll be arriving at. Sorry, that's the island you'll be arriving at.
I think at that point, Agnes would have been sat on the side of the ship with her little feet dangling over the edge, with her bag on her knee like a little old lady on the bus, just sipping at brandy. And when Captain Atkin rocks up, she will pass him one and say, "There we are, dear. You just keep doing you."
He takes your bottle of brandy and he's like, just goes into his pocket and pulls out like a big bottle of rum. He's like, "I've got some of those strong if you want to have some."
You're a good man, and I will partake. Just a sniff. Yeah.
They whistle and somebody brings 2 glasses for you. He has one and like just chats to you about, I don't know. He asks you, what should the get up?
Oh, it's just something I put on. I know it looks a bit severe and a bit goth, but it's not about what you wear; it's what's on the inside. I, for one, am not endowed with height, shall we say. So, I've got quite a lot to give in this small package. Although I do have to ask, do you intend on keeping that hat? Because it would go charmingly with my cowl.
He smiles a big toothy grin and says, "Unfortunately, I am planning to keep this hat for a very long time."
But do you intend on keeping the hat? Because I think I'd look smashing on it with it.
He like takes the hat off and pops it on your head, and like allows you to have like a moment with it, and then snatches it back and then walks off.
I will just
downing his drink, and then leaving the bottle with you.
Oh, very good. I won't get too drunk, but I'll have another swig or 2.
Awesome. How would you like to deal with the box, maybe, perchance?
Well, we can either attempt to return it, or we can just smash it and let nature take its course.
I'm always happy to smash, but if we're going to marry this man, maybe we don't break his property before we meet him.
Smash, marry, avoid.
Those are the 3 options. Or assassinate. That's another. Yeah.
Look, we've been doing this a long time. I want to hear. What do you think? All of you, why not?
I say smash it, because if he really needs our help, then he'll let the damage slide. And I'm curious, and everything burns.
If he didn't want us to break into his stuff and smash it all open, he should have told us what the hell was going on. So
I assume this is a test.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
Agnes?
Yes, my dear.
Okay. Is that a yes, you should do it, or yes, you're acknowledging my existence?
That's a smashing question. We will say smash it.
Okay.
Just before you do, is it the sort of thing that, looking at it, if we shattered it, mending could put it back together? Was it too?
Yeah, it's small enough. If one of you has mending.
Does anyone? Does anyone?
No.
Is it made of stone?
Jacopo, mate. I'm sorry.
Jacopo, we broke your boss's thing.
Here's money.
It fell.
Into my pockets.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to smash it, go for it. I think, just...
What do you want me to roll, mate?
If you want to roll for it, I feel like smashing a box is very much in your wheelhouse.
Oh, me too. I always ask.
Go on, then. Go on, roll a d20 for us. banter, just in case you fuck it up, eh?
Well, luckily that was a 14, so.
Excellent, you definitely hit the box. So yeah, you slice it at an angle with this mass. Are you using your great axe?
Yeah.
Yeah. You fucking slash it so it doesn't even touch the floorboards as you come down at a perfect curve, and you take off like a good chunk of the box, and it's like that anime like where it goes through and then the box goes chink like that. And inside, does anybody want to have a look?
No.
I will.
As you pick up the box and look inside, you can all look at Varia as a golden light reflects on her face, and that's where we'll take a break.
Bastard.
Yes.
Very good. Oh my god, how exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's in the box, guys? Well, you'll find out in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, so let's have a break. Looking forward to seeing you after the half. Ciao, Bellas.
Bye.
Okay, welcome back to Escape from Carceri. We're currently on a boat, motherfucker, and we're not going to get copyright for the music there, are we?
Fair use.
It's true.
But it's parody. Varia has just opened up a mysterious box that the Count of Catalan was getting imported via the Mint Diamond, revealing a golden shimmering to the group, very Pulp Fiction-esque style. And as you look in, you see an ornate golden eye patch.
Ah, that is the coolest thing in the world.
Does it do anything to like? I just am really hyped that it's there, or
yeah, it attaches itself to your eye, drilling into your skull. No, it's an eye patch.
roll something to see if it's magic or whatever, or like.
Kato still has oh no, detect magic was a lot earlier in the day.
Oh yeah.
So roll an Arcana check.
Right. 17 minus 1.
16.
Yes. Thanks, Noel.
Thanks for spelling that out.
It's all right. It was more for my brain because I was like 17 minus 1.
We're just doing an algebra now.
60. Yeah.
Really, this
X plus
is the
4
greatest
minus 2.
puzzle.
X equals dice roll minus 1. Yeah. So you take the eye patch out, and it whilst it's the outside is made of not you know the texture of gold, and you know that it's a soft metal. This looks like gold, but isn't.
It's not gold. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, the inside is padded, and the leather, also brown, is very comfortable and stretchy. But there doesn't seem any, like, from what you can tell, it just seems like a very ornate eye patch.
Put it on.
I don't need an eye. My 2 eyes work good. Why would I put an eye patch on?
Because it's probably magical, perhaps.
Well, then you do it.
Well,
Magic boy.
I don't want to die.
Well, and you want me to die. Now I know. Okay, when I said...
Did I say that out loud? Okay, fine. Someone should try it.
Put it on Kato. Don't put it on Kato. Joke. It was a joke.
I already have an eye patch.
I put my hand out. Just
Yeah, I was say Lorcan is the only one that actually has a missing eye with an actual eye patch.
I forgot that. Lorcan, you were the obvious choice. In an insane world.
I mean, Alex is offering to take it as well.
Like I said, I have an eye patch. That one's not really my style.
Does it? Hang on. Just a thought. Does it match our captain? Goes with the outfit?
The captain's a gold dragonborn. It's a gold eye patch. I guess in that way, yes, it matches, but it would also blend in like he was closing his eye.
It's a look.
I mean, Alex, if you want to wear it, you can totally wear it.
I mean, it's a really stupid idea, but, I might as, my curiosity, I think, is outweighing my intelligence at the moment. So, yeah, I sort of look around and go, if I go weirder than normal, just take my head off or something.
Okay, so yeah, you pop the eye patch on, and as you sort of like, it's a bit loose because of where Varia has pulled it. So as you like put it over your head, as soon as you get to the point where it would fit, it just straps to your skull. And at that moment, in a flash, you're suddenly in the heat of battle. You can see above you giants roaring against dragons being brought down with maces and large clubs bigger than mountains themselves. A giant just smacks a dragon in the face and just brings it out to the ground. And as you turn, you can see an army full of men and women in golden shimmering armor charging, taking your forces down. You reach up with your spear and lance it straight through, electric bursting through the army, but they make it through and they pin you down and they grab you, beating you, pushing you down, and then they rip the eye patch off of you. and then you're back in the room with everyone else.
Am I still standing?
Yeah, you haven't moved.
How did that take a long time?
No, that took like literally the eye patch went, and he went.
And has the eye patch like moved off my eye now?
No, it's where it was.
I still.
Are you okay?
What was that?
Did you sneeze? What happened?
So, and then I just sort of like in weird detail, just going, okay, so this happened, and there was a dragon. Okay, so the dragon was slightly bigger than me, and I looked at my hand.
Dragon was slightly bigger than me.
Yeah, yeah. That's sort of like going, okay, so I was throwing with my left hand, I think, and then just, so I think it takes a while to, and then I go, and then I was pretty sure I had my head smashed in. So, anyone else want to try?
Absolutely not.
No, thank you. Is there anything about what Ilex said that sounds at all familiar?
Roll a history check.
Can I also roll a history check? Because I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was going to be good, and then it was not. That's an 8.
That's a natural 20. And with my history, that's a 23. Hey, I saw some shit.
You did.
Giants and dragons are a thing. Like, everybody knows that giants and dragons are a thing. However, you didn't just see one or two. You were on a battlefield, and there was full of giants and full of dragons. And you're pretty sure in the history books, before even like mankind itself existed, there was a war between giants and dragons, which is probably confusing because you were definitely a man and you were definitely facing down an army of man. So some things don't make sense, but none of that eye patch made sense. So it's kind of like, hey, but your rough guess would maybe either you're in a weird point where a group of giants and dragons had a fight that you've never seen or heard of before, or this was at a point where man shouldn't exist.
I kind of look at Voice and go, your future, was there a war between giants and dragons? Is that what we need to worry about?
No, I mean, there was war. It was terrible, but it was in the Feywild between several Fey gods trying to destroy each other successfully. This is new to me.
And I also think about the army that beat me to death. Sort of like, I assume I can see their armor. I can make note of gold and...
Nothing of note. Like, other than it was like almost like the sun itself was charging at you.
And could I pick up anything about, as I said, like through, what I was wearing, or?
No, because it was in first person. So it's.
But that's sort of like, if you go like that and you move your hand, you might catch like, am I wearing gloves?
You'd have just seen like a muscular arm with, like, not gauntlets, but like braces, and the main thing was the lightning spear that sort of shelled through. Again, golden in color.
And did I feel that? Did I feel and smell? Was I sort of transported, or was it just...
Yeah, you would have smelt the heat of battle. You'd have probably smelled blood.
Right.
Full-on Dolby experience.
As Ilex is describing this to us, Agnes's hand, her little arthritic hand, will just be moving up to his forehead to make sure he's actually all right. We're not burning up, dear, so that's good. The delusion isn't medical, so that's good. Yeah.
Sort of, again, I put my other hand gently on your shoulder as a kind of like, I'm not used to being touched, but thank you, I appreciate it.
Anytime, dear.
I have questioned everyone. Did we want to put this back, or are we keeping it?
I mean, the box is destroyed. Does anyone else have like a wooden box we can put it in?
No. I have no. We cut it in half. There's nothing I can do.
I could glue it.
I've got Tinker's tools. Could I maybe?
Was the box just made of wood? What was the box made of?
Is it?
It's a metal brass box, so you could potentially have like a little welding kit that you could weld it back together.
Right.
It would no longer turn.
No. Well, I mean, I suppose what occurs to me is, what's the point in putting it back if it's obvious that the magic on it has been dispelled and it's clearly been damaged? Perhaps we should keep hold of the item until the opportune moment. It might prove useful. I'm curious to know why it is of such immense value, a light show inside an eye patch, to be so well protected.
Could be fun.
And fun is rare these days. Absolutely, could be that.
Could be fun to see battle that never happened or happened long ago or made up.
I mean, if you want to try it, it's horrible. I mean, my head was crushed, but...
So not fun for you. Fun for someone into their head getting crushed, maybe.
There are people into that sort of thing.
I'm going to try it on, I think.
I think, just as I'm about to hand it, I'm like, you sure?
Why would I say if I was not sure?
No. No, you wouldn't. There you go, boss.
I'm not your boss, but thank you. We are an autonomous collective.
You manage it across your ear and wrap it around your head onto your eye, and it fits your skull. And no light show. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
This is just an eye patch. What are you talking about?
It's quite fetching on you, Vari, I have to say. It really offsets the menacing look.
Oh, you're so sweet. But I'm not seeing dragons.
How strange.
I sort of the eyes. I think is anything like people just check my eyes. There's no gold in my eyes. There's no kind of.
I will look in.
Well, he's gonna lift it off and
weirdly close to void, like right up there.
Yeah, no. I'm assuming they just look like normal eyes. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, you just see the wonderful eyes of a half.
Yes. No.
Somebody else
the
special?
piercing blue.
Gosh, but I can see out the back of them there, Alex. Maybe take a half step away.
Apologies. Right.
I've never seen anything like this before.
One-time use? I hope not. Uh-oh.
Perhaps it's to do with who puts it on, or...
Oh, go on, then you do it.
Yeah,
Why not?
Somebody gonna help the wolf put the eye patch on.
Oh, all right, put it on my good eye.
I do so.
As this,
He just blindfolded.
this is the wolf with two eye patches.
as this is happening, can I just go listen to see if anyone's listening in at the door?
Yeah, of course. Make a perception check.
Cool. That is a 12.
Pretty quiet. Like nobody's walking past.
Can I slightly open it to just look out?
Yeah. You open it. Nobody's there.
Shut it again.
Look, as you become blinded, you can't see anything. That's all that happens.
You're wearing an eye patch.
Yes, no, nothing. And I will kind of after just a few seconds, I'll drop my head and use a paw and kind of drag it off my head.
Okay.
Are you gonna try the other eye, or?
What about
No, I don't think
the magic socket?
No, I'm not going.
You don't think that's ever so slightly serendipitous? You know, here we are with a magic eye patch and you have a magic socket.
I mean...
If you don't want us looking, we won't look at your eye.
Kato, come over here. And I'm not trying to hide it from everybody else, but this is something that I've had to do with Kato a bunch of times. So I lift the eye patch, please, Kato. And he kind of pulls it up, and it's not really grotesque or anything, but there's not an eye there. It's a kind of it's a sort of purple. It's not as kind of. It's not like a pustule or anything. It's not like a blister, but it's purple. There's a slight glow to it. It's almost like a kind of messed up eyelid closed over, but underneath that there is some sort of faint purple glow of a magic thing. And so Kato pulls that off, and I nose the other one on the floor, and he puts it on my head.
Yeah. as the eye patch tightens around your head, you see the same images that were once given, but you get the feeling that this time they're kind of a bit more like they're drifting away. Like, it's not as in as much detail, the scents aren't there that Ilex had, but you get the story, and you get the sense that you're in a war and you're getting pummeled and somebody's taking your eye patch off of you as everything goes dark, as fists rain down upon you. But there's not as much as it seemed to have like a really visceral experience, whereas you could have been pretty much watching a movie.
Yeah.
Not that you'd know what that is.
With maybe this is a roll, but with my passive insight, have I gleaned any more of what this battle is about, what's going on, why specifically they're trying to get the eye patch off me?
Yeah, you can tell that they're just kicking the shit out of you. And part of it is that like they've just gripped anything they can grab, and one of them's grabbed your eye patch. Like, that's kind of like, you get the fact that this is.
They're not like fighting me specifically, trying to get the eye patch off me, as though like that's a weak.
They're not after the eye patch. They're after you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then yeah, I relay all of that to everybody afterwards.
Oh, so it's not as me. I'm the odd one out. Great.
I wonder what it is about you. Perhaps it doesn't like Loxodon. Don't know why that would be.
Are you going to take the eye patch off again?
Yeah, I think I'll get Kato to swap them back.
As Kato takes it off, you notice that there's like almost from Lorcan's eye, there's almost like a purplish like energy that crackles as it gets taken away, almost like if it was goo, but it's energy. And then as it just like comes apart, it just dissipates. You get the idea that maybe it wasn't the fact that it was Varia, but maybe the fact that it was specifically Lorcan's eye.
Or people with magic, I suppose, if Ilex is also able to.
Ilex isn't magical.
Not that magic.
Oh.
Perhaps it was charged and requires some kind of magic to sustain it once it's been expended.
That's a pretty...
Oh,
yeah.
I feel as though that was quite a good guess.
Yes.
It's a little sense.
Okay, how do we recharge a magic object so if this count wants it, it's ready to go?
Well, back where I'm from, what you would do is plug them into little holes in the wall, but I really don't see any.
This with your holes in the wall and your charging of a phone.
They were everywhere, I tell you. It's a whole thing.
You really do have the best stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
You hear another knock at the door.
I will pick up the remains of the box that is presumably lying secreted. Just a minute!
Does somebody
We're all
help
naked.
Kato with the eye patch, or is it just Kato does it slowly and carefully like he usually would?
Yeah, no, I think he just does it normally, as he would.
Cool. Yeah, switch eye patch. Kato's just stood there holding the golden eye patch.
I'll take it off him and put it in a pocket.
He wrestles with you a little bit, then let's go.
No, let.
It's Jacopo again.
Hello.
Jacopo walks in, he's like, we are about to arrive. A little early on schedule, actually.
Thank you for letting us know.
Marvellous. We better get ready, I suppose. Sort of. How do I know this?
Yeah, excellent. He sort of nods politely and says, I'll wait for you aboard on deck.
See you there.
He walks off.
He's totally onto us.
But he can't hear if I just ask for tea, so maybe he can't.
Good to know.
Well, he's not. You're not summoning him. He's not, bound or whatever.
I see.
Bound by tea.
Bound by people asking him to do things.
Huh.
Tea for the tea god.
Yeah.
Well,
Leaf for the leaf throne. What?
so are we not returning this eye patch?
Do you think we should?
Well, just if we are going to, this is our last chance.
You can feel the boat coming to a halt as you're talking.
My feeling would be...
Or maybe our chance has gone.
I think it's best this way because whoever finds it will know that we stole it anyway, won't they?
Yeah.
So
Why don't we just walk up and say, Christopher, we've passed your test, and hand him the eye patch.
Oh, I like it. The opening gambit of a haha. Come at me, bro.
Exactly.
nice. Of course, if it was only single use, then it's a bit like handing a spent item of some other kind. I can think of some modern versions, but I shan't say them.
Another phone that you can't plug, that needs to be plugged into a little hole in the wall.
You're getting it, Barry, yes.
Most of the magic items I've come across in our time tend to recharge on their own if you give them some time.
Okay.
Shall I just cast light on it at least twice, just to make sure?
Okay.
Yes.
I will cast light on the eye patch twice.
As in
It's an
making it
action.
the source of light.
Yes.
So yeah, you do that.
Now
It's now glowing.
It looks charged. Good.
I'll put it back in its box, I guess.
Just try
Are
and
you gonna like quickly weld it back together?
Yeah, just so it looks a little less damaged, perhaps.
Okay, yeah, you can like weld a bit of it rather than like the whole thing. Like it'll snap off very easily.
But it'll look relatively.
There's a big gash in it. Like there's like you've stuck it together so that it won't fall out.
I mean, another option is just to throw it overboard.
No.
Why? Hold on. Why no?
Because I like Agnes's idea of we passed the test. Maybe money.
It's just fucking straight up like they were stealing oranges, they were stealing diamonds as big as tangerines, and they were throwing them away. Some men must away and just want to watch the world burn.
Get out of here, Michael Caine!
I'm everywhere. I've been on the boat the entire time. You just didn't look for me. Okay.
Let's go upstairs.
Okay,
Time for dinner party.
let's do it.
We just got the tube now.
Awesome.
I mean,
So you go outside. You cover the glowing eye patch in your pocket, I imagine.
It glows for an hour.
Okay, the box. It's in the box. It's in the little-
But you
Oh, it's
cast
in the
it
box.
twice.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
The box
It
is
doesn't
in
stack,
somebody's
I don't think.
satchel, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Somebody's satchel.
Someone's
Okay. Yeah, you go outside. It's dusk. That's the right word. Where the sun has set. But you arrive at the island, and it's not a large island, but it's not a small island. It's a medium island. And whilst there isn't any like high cliffs or anything, there are mountain goats dotted around, and clearly they can live here. There's enough like food source and some sort of ecosystem going on that they live here. But there doesn't seem to be anywhere to live, like buildings wise. Jacopo is waiting for you off deck, on shore. Bloody Grunskud, Captain Atkind, gives you a knot with his tricorn, and there's a ladder ready for you to go down. The crate that Fubar opened for you is already there, and you can see Fubar and his friend Nikwi Boobly.
like plausible.
It's the orc. I've both got it like on a stretcher, and Jacopo's down there waiting for you.
Was it injured? Is there a dock?
No, you're literally climbing down a ladder on the beach. Yeah.
I go and stand at the top of the ladder and watch people go. Captain, is there any other way off this ship currently?
Jacopo like knocks on the ship from the bottom, and you see like a little staircase come out for you.
Cool. Much appreciated. Thank you. I run down.
I'll take the stairs.
There are stairs. Why would you not take stairs?
I'm going to slow down the ladder
Because ladders are cool.
with a swish of my coat. I'm like,
Once you arrive at the shoreline, Jacopo says to you, Now, I understand that you've been slightly trepidatious about this entire journey, and I completely understand that, and the master is quite eccentric. However, one last piece of eccentricness to go, and he pulls out blindfolds. He says, would you mind holding hands and wearing these? My master likes his privacy, you see, and we'd love to take you indoors to the home, but we require your cooperation for this.
How am I going to hold the hand of a dog? He needs all 4 feet to walk.
I hope you don't find this offensive, but... And he pulls out a lead.
I'm not wearing that.
It's the best thing we could come up with at the time of doing this, but again, your sense of smell would probably be fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah, I think between sense of smell and again, I'll be in contact with Kato as we're walking along.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just trying to think. So Colin has been resurrected during my rest. Would be quite useful, given that he's got little eyes. Just is Jacobo holding out a tiny little blindfold? Is he aware of Colin? No. In that case,
Colin seems to have gone
unnoticed.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'll. Unfortunate. And I will shrug and take a blindfold.
Awesome.
This sucks. But fine.
Well, we've come this far. But yes, I agree, Maya.
Fine. Whose hand am I holding?
I'll offer Varia my hand.
Thank you, Voit.
Alex, Agnes?
You have such lovely nails, Varia. How do you get them quite so trim?
Sanding mostly, filing them down, occasionally painting,
Lovely colours.
if you have the time.
I don't think I have that much paint, to be fair.
Borrow some of mine.
Amazing.
Well, I'll hold anyone's hand, but I would rather much link arms if at all possible. It's the arthritis, you see. Makes it quite awkward. So yes, I will link arms with anybody. The blindfold will go on, but if I may, I will cast Eyes of the Grave as we are walking at least twice to see if there's any undead around.
Yeah. You sense no undead.
Cool.
I just pay a lot of attention to seeing if I can hear anything, try and work out which way the wind's blowing, just general kind of what's happening.
No worries. Okay, so you're all trusting, put the blindfolds on, link arms, shoulder up, and you are led. And you can hear the grunts of Fubar and Nikwi.
I'll just shift my senses to Colin, who's on my hand, so look out of his eyes.
You can see that you're on the shoreline, and you're walking towards where sort of the land goes up and has like spaces where it's almost like a pillar of stone in between that you could presumably jump down from. But you go inside and you can hear everybody else can hear the sound of water, and maybe your foot like slips and you get a bit of a wet foot. But Jacopo does his best to make sure that none of that happens. But you can see that you're being led inside a cave. And once you get to the very inside of the cave, you hear the words, "Open Sesame." And the cave door starts to melt away, revealing a hallway. And you walk in, and the hallway's lit by natural light. And you can see that it's moonlight. The sides work like as if they were the interior. You know full well that this is inside a cave because you're inside the actual island itself. But the windows look like they're a view of the outside of the island. And you have natural moonlight cascading in, keeping the place like a nice atmospheric feel to it. There are sconces further ahead as you walk in, but as you fully enter, the cave melts back up and you are told you can take off your blindfolds now.
Interesting.
Wow, I like the decor.
Thank you. The master takes it very seriously. He likes how things look and being a specific way, as you are sure to have understood now. Follow me, and he leads you through what seems to be slightly a bit of a maze. There are rooms as you go by, and maybe as you look in, you can see that again they're just extravagant. But this time, there's a little bit of difference. Like rather than being quite basic Sword Coast culture-wise extravagance, you might pop your head in and notice a bit more of a draconian element to it, or a dwarven style, like the richest dwarven area you would have ever seen. Especially dwarves are very proud of their art and their craft. This is looks like it's been carved by some of the best dwarven figures you've ever met. There's elven room, again for elven people, and another similar Sword Coastian vibe. These are just as you're going through it, but you're led into a study, and at the side, as you're led inside is a man sat behind a desk, again draped in blacks and golds and red, with a tight beard, medium hair, very swishy, a little bit greyed. They're a man of indistinguishable age. Their eyes kind of tell more of a story than their body does, in the sense that you can see that they have wisdom behind them. And next to them, a little grung, also draped in wonderful clothes. And the Count turns to you and says, "Welcome. It is nice to finally meet you."
Nice to meet you too.
Loken, I can presume.
You can.
Please take a seat.
I would shake your hand if it wasn't so demeaning.
I understand. And there is like a chair crafted for your body type as a dog. Like it looks particularly comfy. It's a bit wider, a bit more circular rather than a straight chair. But there's chairs for all of you. And he indicates to all of you, please take a seat. And there is a larger one for the Loxodon, a smallest one for the dwarf, but has a bit of a raise to it so you can get on the same height as everyone.
Via sets.
You clearly do your research.
I tried
You know a lot about us.
Well, I want a certain thing from you, so I thought when I'm looking for the people that I want to have, I must look for the best, and you are the best in the South Coast. This is my friend Villefort, and the grung, who is like a little fish man, a lot more frogman kind of thing. Again, in this wonderful, more greens and purples, and their skin is this yellow with blue dots popped around. They don't open their mouth, but you hear their voice in your head being like, "Hello, my name's Villefort. Lovely to meet you."
I don't, because of my ring.
Oh, so you don't hear anything?
Ooh.
Vaya's going to jump.
Apologies. I just don't really like talking. It's one of those things that my throat kind of swells up a little bit, and it's a bit of a pain. This one over here seems to have a bit of a shield going on, not really reacting to what I'm saying. And he does point, he gesticulates like he's talking, but it just looks like he's going...
Yes, Ilex, you have a ring that stops psychic things or something, don't you?
Yes.
The frog is talking. I don't know what you want to do about that.
I sort of nod, but don't touch my ring.
Okay.
If you want to, I can definitely talk in my natural voice. It's a little uncomfortable, but I'll do it. I don't
want to cause you any pain, I'm sure.
Oh, it's not painful. It's just, it's unusual for me. I learned how to speak through this, so it's kind of harder to, you know what I mean? It's like talking a foreign language almost.
Well, maybe if it's useful for both of you, once you finish talking, I can summarize.
The grung puts his hands up and he goes, "It's okay. I'll talk with my normal voice."
I enjoy that very much. Keep on doing that.
Yeah, do this.
Okay. If this is a bit better. My name is Villefort. Sorry, you misheard earlier when I was talking without minds. But this is my natural voice. I usually speak telepathically because it is how I learned as a young grung, you know.
Is that the language of love, my dear? Because I'm enthralled.
The Count looks at you and says, he's a very interesting grunt. Now, straight to business, I think. And he takes a seat. He did stand when welcoming you. And then he takes a seat at his desk. He looks at you all very intensely. Like, he's probably, like, for this meeting, it's weird how intensely he looks at you. Nobody should give that kind of look to a person, but he's certainly giving you that look.
Is it like sexy intense, or is it just
depends if you like an intense look.
I want to insight that.
Yeah, you can insight his insight into you, I guess.
His intense look. 18.
He is looking at you as a man who usually gets what he wants, but understands what he's asking might cause a bit of stirrings.
Okay.
He looks at you all and he says, You are problem solvers, are you not?
Yes, we all have
Time.
skills that solve different kinds of problems.
What I need is for you to travel far away and find for me a lost soul and bring them back. But you should know that this journey is long, arduous, and many of you may not come back. But all I need is one of you and the soul that I have asked you for retrieve. I will do my best to make sure that you are well equipped for the journey, but I want to be completely honest with you. The payment will be 100,000 gold pieces. Each.
For the ones who survive, I'm guessing.
Which I hope all of you do.
Soul attached to body, separate from body. We hunting a person or finding what soul? Sorry.
More details will be given once you have agreed. But for now, this is all I can offer.
I do feel slightly as though that is the amount of information that one could have squeezed into a note.
I was just about to say.
You know, we have just travelled for 3 days to get here. Any particular reason for the elaborate flirtation?
Because I want you to do the job.
If we say no, what happens to us now?
You leave. You have travel, accommodation, everything you have received so forward, back, home. But you lose out on a journey of a lifetime and 100,000 gold pieces. And maybe more.
Money or just the experience? Because experience we get, all the time.
I'm talking things that may be a bit more priceless than money.
Well, I suppose if you know us so well, then you would perhaps know that money isn't a huge motivator for me. So I'm
no,
curious.
but I do know you have a communicator that you cannot charge.
Void looks a little bit, was about to say something a little bit quippy and bites their tongue. What?
I said I do know that you have a communicator that you did not charge. You're struggling to do this, but this is something that my friend here, Ella, can help with.
Okay. Void shrug flexes their fingers and looks to the others. We will listen.
Lorcan, I know that you have been trapped in this body for 15 years.
Around that, yes.
I believe that my friend here, Ella, can potentially help you. He is, as you can see, master in telepathic arts. Alex, I know that you have, well, a bit more royalty than you have previously told your friends, I assume. But I can help you have that back properly, and the demons of your past can be completely put to rest for this. Varia? Well, I thought the money would be enough.
It's a reasonable guess.
And Agnes,
Esther.
Alenvor believes in judgment, no? The proper
Of a sort. Yes.
The soul you'll be freeing did not get this opportunity.
Right, well, we jolly well better go and stop it then. Go get them back.
The Count lazily leans back in his chair, like very self-assured, but waiting for your sort of like response now, as a group.
Is there anywhere we could take a stroll? Perhaps just.
Please, my house is your house. Wander wherever you like. Come back when you are ready.
Okay. Shrug to the others, see if they're up for a walk.
I just get up and turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's find somewhere a bit more private.
Yeah, okay, so you can, like, Jacopo's at the door when you exit. He doesn't make any movements, but, like, sort of, like, looks at you, cocks his head and is like, a room. Walks over, takes a left, walks down a little corridor and opens a door into a... Let's have... Yeah. It's like a Sword Coast vibe, regal haunt. And as you enter, there are many different like goblets and things on show, books on the Sword Coast, you know, Volo's Guide to Baldur's Gate and all this jazz. And then in a casing is a large ornate shotgun, and just lined on it underneath like the velvet, you can see casings for bullets, and each one glows a different color. Also in a there's like a mannequin with a headdress and like all these wonderful clothes, almost like it's for decoration, but there's a stone just floating around it.
I, Hannah, want a stone that just floats around my head like a planet. Right. That sounds fucking sick.
There's plenty of places to sit. There's a couple beds, and like it seems like a bedroom almost.
Why are we hesitating?
Because someone just offered to give us everything that we want.
Well, not everything.
Well,
enough that it's worth checking we're all on the same page. So.
Yes, I mean, Alex, I feel as though perhaps there's slightly more to your situation than
I'm not those sort of people who think they can just throw money at their problems.
So money won't solve whatever your problem is.
No.
But you've not enough money.
I
think Alex has had that conversation multiple times as someone stood like on a precipice going, please, I can pay you. I can fix this. And he's like, no, law is the law. You killed that man. You know, so he's just, I think we might as well hear what the job is, please.
I think if we take the job and then say we don't want the job anymore, we will be in big shit.
So one thing I didn't...
I would say from the intense stare, you got the idea that when he said you agree to the job, you agree to the job. I would say Varia's point is very poignant. There was an intensity to the way he looked at you all. As again, he's a man who's used to getting what he wants.
I want to know where he got all this money from.
There's a lot of money. I missed something as we were coming in, Niall. We were in a cave, and then the cave, I think you said melted away. Is that the word you used? So I'll just recount that for anyone who wasn't watching it, that we were led up to this cave door that then opened, and there was moonlight on the inside, and then the cave melted away, and we were in a house, in a building.
Yeah, essentially the cave inside the cavern, it was like, imagine like a door would just melt away, revealing an inside there's a palace and a house inside the cave.
You didn't,
but it feels, yeah.
And I couldn't quite.
So it's real space rather than just the door, like Incredible style, like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So one thing I didn't quite grasp firmly, it was he mentioned that little fellow, the Grung, could charge your phone and sort out your lycanthropic problem.
Well, possibly, yes.
Do we just rub the phone on the Grung? I mean, is that commonplace where you came from, Voigt? Do you rub things on frog people?
Unfortunately, all the grung are extinct where I came from. It's very rare to see one these days. But no. As I said, there are holes in the wall. There's a force, a bit like Matt. It doesn't matter. The fact is, it would be incredibly useful for the task. It's something I have to pay serious attention to if there is an opportunity.
Why we don't just ask the grung if he will do it independently?
That was an option.
We could.
I don't think they're those sort of people who would do something unless it benefited them.
Well,
I know I'm new to this. I know you don't know me.
No. You deal with terrible people all the time.
I deal with terrible rich people mostly. People who think that they can pray the money and change the law.
That's very much the MO here.
I suppose you could say, if we take the job, I don't want to break the law.
Or I didn't really like the part about all of us potentially dying. It's been...
Well, I would assume if we're going to get a soul that's not here anymore, then that's someone that's dead. So perhaps we're going to...
Oh, I thought we were just picking somebody up, maybe. Good point.
You're not just like a Victorian turn of phrase, oldie worldy, future worldy.
I mean, perhaps, but that wasn't the first thing that, after everything we've gone through to get here, that was not.
I've never been to Land of Dead.
It's a wonderful theme park.
What?
Land of Dead.
You go for fun?
For a ride.
Like a park?
No, I'm just...
Bone shaker.
Point is, I don't know how we would get back once we die. Like, do we have somebody who's good at... I don't want to be undead. That feels bad to me, and that feels bad, I'm sure, to Agnes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know much about the Land of the Dead, Agnes?
I mean, I've never been, especially if it has those rides that you mentioned earlier. I occasionally do pull people back from the Land of the Dead, and they come back living. But I never go there myself.
From undead, Agnes.
So, Agnes will go on for about a good half hour about why undead is so different to being alive or being dead. It is the unholy in between, my dear, which she will rattle on for a good long while, and there'll be an awkward pause. And then she'll keep on talking.
Nice.
Okay, yes, thank you for input. Why not? Well, I mean, yes, problematic, we might die, but we might die tomorrow.
I like that attitude.
Yes.
Sort of comes with the line of work, really.
And 100,000 gold pieces is a lot of money. I just want to
Is that ridiculous? That's like more than a country.
That is it's redonkadonk. Like, he's offering 500,000 in total, and that is like $1 million is to that extent is ridiculous.
Voight isn't hesitating for Voight's sake. Voight is quite well convinced by what's offered. Like, that's,
I just wanted to put that into context, maybe, because to us, we're like 100,000 grand.
The sense that someone powerful has something over you, and then also has something over your friends who are with you. That's an uncomfortable position to be in, and especially with Ilex, who is new. Voight is just, I think, concerned that how are we being manipulated, and are we okay with being so easily manipulated? It's kind of before we dive in, which feels like the inevitable conclusion, just going, I didn't realize we all had so much over us that we could be leveraged, except Varia, who's just a money-grabbing whore.
It's me. Look, I said I'd marry him.
That's it.
I don't like saying yes with no reservations. Need a proper contract, ideally somebody to look at the contract, file it with the local mayor or whatever. I know the one we've got now is not, as bad as he could be. So if you want to say, I don't want to break the law, then we can put it in, or we can ask. Or if you want to say, I don't know, but maybe that way we safeguard ourselves, or... God, this is a lot of thinking.
The way I see it is, I asked if he was going to kill us. He said no. He's probably lying. We say no. He sets us on fire. He drops us in acid. No one knows where we are. You know, a vague note.
What was the acid and fire with you, Alex? I'm so curious to know what happened.
Sort of pulls up the sleeve, shows burns, pulls it down again.
Okay.
Is it better to walk into a trap knowing it's a trap? Also, he might be a bit angry about winks one eye.
True.
I mean...
There is that.
Mm.
From my part, I'm not desperate anymore to get out of this situation, but I still don't really understand it. So I'm keen to know what the hell's going on with myself and Kato. So I'll be taking the job as such as it is. I don't feel like a vote is quite the right thing for this situation. I think we'll have to decide for ourselves. But for what it's worth, I'd rather do it with all four of you with me.
Right, back on the road again. And Maria claps her hands together and then, like, pats the back, like as if you were in your physical form body, I would have clapped you on the back. But the same concept for the wolf.
Cool.
Here we go again.
I'll nod. Great.
Okay, so you guys head back to the study. Jacopo opens the door for you as you approach, smiling at you all politely as you walk in, closing the door behind you. And as you enter, the desk has now got 5 contracts laid out in front of you. There's an ink and an ink pot, all in gold as well, laid out next to each contract. The Count looks at you and says, I hope you've come to a decision.
I think we have.
Sure, but we're looking at the contract before.
Yeah, can we read the contract?
Stupid.
It's a simple bonding contract. Once you have chosen to take on this job, you will do your utmost ability to do this in the time that you have. Any time that you decide that you will stop, well, then your body will be racked with pains, and it'll be very hard for you to do anything else. This is not to assume that, it takes into account moral conundrum, the idea of this is getting hard, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. It is more of if you choose to betray me, this is a little thing to say, don't do that, please.
You think there's a risk of betrayal?
I am a careful man. I hope that has been clear.
Very.
Maybe people have stipulations about what they would want to avoid to do, because obviously within your power, many things within my power. Maybe I just don't want to do certain ones.
Of course. So, what are these stipulations you would like to achieve? We will sort this out now.
I refuse to sleep with my grandfather.
Okay, refuse to sleep with grandfather.
What?
That appears just on your contract. And he writes, he gets like a quill and writes it in the air, but it appears on your contract.
Time travel check.
You might need to put that on all of us.
Okay, refuse to sleep with grandparents.
So I'm not shagging any family members, thanks.
Can we read the contracts?
It states pretty much what you said. It's a very simple, short contract. It just states that you would do the best of your ability, and you will not essentially shirk out of your responsibility.
Is there any reference to payment? Because I've had that verbally, but I've not had that written down.
Yeah, all the payment is there. And it also says any extra payments will be given at the employer's whim. So there's kind of like a promise in the contract that you might receive more without it being specific.
And it promises, for example, does it promise that Kato will be turned back into a wolf? Does it promise those things, or does it promise to help?
For Kato's specific contract, it stipulates that they will do all they can. Like, you get the feeling that the exact same thing will happen to them if they don't do what they can to try. So it works back and forth. You get the idea that if they shirk their responsibility, they will go through as much agony and pain as you do.
Okay, that seems fair.
Are we allowed to disclose our mission to other people, or is it a non-disclosure?
It is a non-disclosure agreement. Once you've taken the contract, you'll be magically inept of being able to talk about it.
But what if we need to chase somebody down? We can't just say we're on a mission from God. We need to.
The Count looks at you and he says, "It's okay. You don't have to."
Well.
So are we going to find out?
So it stipulates this realm.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Whilst on this realm, the material realm, you won't be able to tell anyone what you've done.
What, before or after as well? Does it means? Oh.
Yeah. Just like he explains to you that if you try to talk about it, you just won't find the words. You'll be able to get the vague sense of, I did a job for the Count, but the work itself will not.
Oh, so that explains why everyone has been so helpful on our journey here.
No, not everybody signed this contract, just you.
Oh really? Oh.
They're just loyal friends.
Yep. Sure.
Atkind is a good captain.
Yes. I will pick up a pen, I think, and I just hover over the paper and then raise an eyebrow and go, I happen to notice I'm a collector of a very particular brand of artifact. Antique, that's the word I'm looking for. Pretty nice example in the room we were just in. Just wonder if I could take that along with me.
The Count smiles at you and is like, I thought you might.
Yeah. Sharp eyes. I will look around at everybody and then I will sign my name.
As you do so, the gold ink goes from the page, and as you put the quill down, your hand turns, and it's almost like your hand is slowly getting golden veins that pass through your body, and then you just feel like a resting lock on you. It's not uncomfortable, but just like something's taken hold of me, but as it releases, it's very comforting. Like, it's not an uncomfortable feeling. It's actually quite pleasant.
Can we take other jobs while we're doing your job too? Or is it only your job and that's the end of life? Because,
The Count looks at you and he's like, I think it'd be very hard for you to do another job whilst you are doing this one.
I mean, don't back out now, guys. I've got gold literally running through inside me.
I'm not backing out. I'm just clarifying what the...
As I said, more details will be given to you as soon as you sign.
I'll walk over. I'm assuming there's not a pen for Kato. There's some sort of like tray of ink. So paw it in there and stamp.
Yeah, like bam, bam. Again, it's a golden ink tray, and as you do it, like your first shimmers with like gold dust as it locks into you.
I will also sign. The letters are angular and dwarven, and the first letter, the A, she's going to go to town. It's going to look like one of those illuminated manuscript first letters.
Nice.
Just like with little stick figures around the A, and it's all of us. There's a little Loxodon. There's a little Voight. We have a little everybody.
Yeah, same thing happens to you as you do it. You guys notice because you're looking at Agnes. Agnes wouldn't notice this. Like little sketchings appear of you guys as they like lock in.
Well, there we are. That was painless. Painless, Ilex.
The Grung looks at you and he's like, "What are you going to do?"
I'm sorry.
No. Sorry, again?
What are you going to do?
I think your manservant is having a moment to himself, Christopher. Are you all right, dear?
Like, no, he's just very interested in our friend.
Can I offer you a lozenge at least?
It's not so, my voice. I drink a lot of water.
Good. It's always good to hydrate.
Like I said, it's not talking another language.
You do it admirably.
Danke.
Again, I just look around a bit more and then look at the count. I'm going to ask again, honestly, if I refuse to sign this contract, do I get to leave the site?
Of course.
Can I make an insight? You know, I know the campaign needs to happen, but this is...
No, it's cool, man.
That's a 10.
Oof.
Yeah, you can leave.
He's going to unbuckle his plot armor.
It's like, yeah. Take the ring off.
Cool.
Put the ring in my pocket. Sign the contract.
You hear a voice in your head go, I appreciate you taking off the ring, because I'll be honest with you, I don't like talking like that. And you hear the voice again in all your heads be like, excellent. Well, looks like we're going to be excited soon. The Count looks at you all and says, well, with this, I will leave my friend to tell you the rest of the plan. I myself have to go away on business, but thank you very much. And he comes out from behind his desk and takes each of your hands and shakes it.
I
And
haven't signed yet.
Oh, sorry, Via. I thought you had. Sorry.
No, too late,
Sorry.
bud.
He would wait until you've all signed.
Come on.
I genuinely thought you had.
No. Okay, Varia will say, okay, I'm happy to do it, but if it's you who's dying and we're fetching your soul back, I mean, hopefully not. Somebody else will carry out paying, yes? If you die while we're trying to solve your problem?
I don't plan to be dead, but yes, if I am killed in some miraculous way, then Jack
Just
will
need to
make
check.
sure
You have
that
no
have
idea the amount of times you come back fetching somebody's frying pan from a village and then she's already died, and that means you don't get... It's a thing.
Nightmare.
Worst comes to worst, when you arrive back, and he turns to like the shelf next to him and just like yanks a diamond out of the upholstery and he puts it on the desk and he says, worst comes to worst, when you arrive and I am dead, you can just pick this place clean.
Sounds excellent.
He like nudges the it's a ruby probably worth about 100 gold pieces.
Taking it, mate. Like,
he nudges it towards you like, please take it.
yes. I've taken it. I'm going to probably make it into an earring or something cooler later. But yeah, right. Oh, wrong accent. Right. No. Varia signs.
Awesome.
It's
Again,
just
the
me.
golden. Yeah. the golden lock takes place, and as I explained before, he comes out and he says thank you. He tells you that he has to go away in business. He looks at.
I just had a deja vu.
he looks at Larkin and says, "Is there a particular way that you like to greet people?
Like to what? Sorry.
Greet or give your goodbyes."
I don't believe so.
Excellent. He nods at you and he just says, the Grung will be very, very helpful, and we hope for the best for you. You're very interesting, and what is behind the eye is very interesting to me. I look forward to hearing more about it soon. Good day. And he looks at you all, nods, and fucks off.
Right, but the Grung remains.
Wait. He looks at you saying, all right then, guys. Looks like we're going for it. Now, would you like to take a seat again? I know that the Count is very eccentric, and and he like waddles up to the desk and like gets up on it very slowly, and he's sort of like taking the room now. He's like, so, cracks his hands. You guys are going to be going to another realm named Carceri. Anybody heard of that before?
After raw history?
Yeah.
4. No.
19.
22.
12.
12. Agnes and Voight, you have heard of Carceri as the realm of prisons. It is where the banished go, the betrayers, where those who the gods deemed too unworthy for even hell go and are locked for eternal, punishment.
Wow. Friendly place.
The soul must be there for a reason.
Well, yes. That's the thing, is we've managed to get an item, and he goes over to a bookcase and touches it, and the bookcase slowly moves out of the way, and the crate, the box that was inside, is there. And
great.
He pulls out 3 keys and starts unlocking them, and he's unlocking the crate.
Just before you get to that, so you know what? I'm just going to say this: we were a bit unsure what all this was before when we were on the boat. So we did some digging, and well, we've been in there. We've had the eye patch out. Ilex and I have both seen something about a big dragon giant battle. Why don't we start there?
The grung gets right up in your face, puts on some leather gloves, and looks in. He's like, "Can I see?" Oh no!
Yes,
wait, his voice is, "Can I see?"
Is it still glowing?
Yes, go on then. And I kind of turn my head so he can get at the eye patch.
Oh, not that. No. He puts the eye patch down and then puts his hands on your head, and you can feel it. It's less of a visceral experience, but you can feel your memory replaying all of the things that you saw, and he's looking at you these big frog eyes just staring into your eyes, just hands on your snout, and he's just well, that is very interesting. I have to say, it's nice seeing it rather than reading it for the first time.
Well, I would have rather read it personally, but
oh, well, magical experience, wonderful. Do you have the eye patch? And his fingers are still moving.
We have it.
Bari's going to pull out the contract and triple check that I can tell other people in other realms what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stipulate that you can't.
Excellent.
We have it somewhere, unless anyone wants to not hand it over.
Alex had it.
I think, yeah, it's in my pocket. I think I'm
Is it
just
still glowing?
It's been, I'd say it's been about an hour.
It's just one off.
Yeah.
I think I sort of make eye contact with the rest of my party, and then just again, Ilex is looking so unhappy about all this.
Okay.
He looks at it, and you hear in your head "Oh, it's broken. Well, it seems to be well." And then he goes up to the desk and just starts bashing this box on the edge of the desk until it cracks open. And he pulls out, and he's like, "Oh yes, wonderful." And he goes up onto the desk and sits with it, and you see him getting to a meditative pose. And then his eyes just flash white, and he's got these big just these big frog eyes that are just staring at you. And you're probably sat there for about a minute.
are we supposed to do something? Anyone?
He doesn't respond. He's just
We can talk to people about mission when we go to Carceri, which is useful, because if we're looking for something, it's good to be able to, ask people on the ground.
Yeah. Yes. Telling stories afterwards a bit difficult though.
Oh, whatever. We have lots of stories by now.
Well, that's true.
And he comes back and he's like, "My God, that was amazing. Would you like to see? Would you like to see?"
The rest of you want to see.
What is it? Sorry, is this the same thing as somebody's head getting stoved in and a dragon being there? What?
Now, as exciting as that was, no. This is more of a legend lore kind of thing, where you find out a bit more about the item itself and, little things like that.
Oh.
Why is this item important to finding this soul?
Because it's theirs.
Oh.
Who is them?
He gets off the desk, and you hear a slight flump as he disappears from the other side of it, and then he comes out with a little book, and you see him flipping through his pages, and he goes, right. The name of the person you're going to be finding is Dean.
Dean?
Oh no, sorry, I my notes. And he rubs his elbow to it. He goes, Odin.
Odin. I've not heard that name. Can I make a history check for an Odin?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, history check.
Jesus.
20, synthetic.
Another 4. I'm retiring that dice.
Anybody else get higher than a 20?
Oh,
Void, probably because of your quantum jumping, potentially, you know that because even history itself is quite old to you, so this timeline's history is even older than that. But you seem to sort of remember like a newer thing, like it's in your history, not in theirs.
Oh.
And you remember that a lost god called Odin came back from somewhere. Potentially.
Was it a good thing?
That wasn't specific.
Oh. Huh.
But maybe they came back.
Right. So they were freed and released from somewhere.
Not freed or released, just came back from like a long journey.
Oh, okay.
Did you say you could show us what happened?
Now, most certainly. Well, I can show you what I saw.
I mean, I'm getting used to people fucking around in my head. Go ahead.
Well, it's less of a fucking thing, more of a showing thing. But you know, and he like holds out his little leather gloves.
I'm not.
You all hold hands. I can I can show.
So much hand holding today.
Blinky elbows.
Oh, don't touch my skin.
Oh yeah.
It's very poisonous.
I was going to say.
Oh.
Good to know.
don't bother me, dear.
It will. But yeah, as you all attach hands, you feel like a sense of calm as this like grung energy passes. Like you start to feel like a grung, like you feel a bit slimy. Your eyesight kind of gets a bit like more, you can see more of your peripheral vision than you usually can, and then suddenly you clock back into normal perception, and you can feel the heat of a forge, and you hear the boom, boom, boom of a hammer, and you look up at your dwarven brethren, and they nod at you, and they're holding this metal piece down as you clamber onto it. Boom, boom, boom. They say, "What do you think, Brildy?" "Well, Herborn, it's going well." "Will they be happy with it? Only one way to see." And then they put it into the water as it, and the steam rises up as you can see the golden eye patch that you had in the first place. And as it flashes, you're suddenly in a magnificent palace with it in a box, holding it up, and in front of you are the most powerful beings on the whole of the realm. You can see a man stood there with a torn up body, big long white hair, a missing hand, but a large sword sheathed. You can see a black-haired, thin, lively man looking curiously at the eye patch. You can see a tall woman covered in furs with nature practically emanating out from behind her. And you see close to the middle a man with a hand on the hilt of a hammer with lightning coursing through his veins, staring at you intently. And sat in front of you is a man missing one eye with a long white beard, all patterned up, hair also patterned up. I can't remember the word for that.
Plaited?
Plaited, thank you. Plaited into a tight braid, armor decorating him with a spear going from the floor across his body, and he holds out the hand for the eye patch which you give to him, and you look in honor as he wears it, and the light shines again and you're back.
Did we just see Anthony Hopkins?
You are an arrogant boy!
Wow. The
Every
budget for
campaign
this is
should have
amazing.
an Anthony, you know.
Yeah.
Secret Anthony, sequel Michael. They're always in a campaign, Michael Caine or Anthony Hopkins. Just look at them.
In this campaign, you get both.
They need the work. They need the work. Anyway,
Playing age 20 to 50.
Voight takes their hands away and is kind of, does any of that look visually familiar? No.
You've basically seen the creation of this eye patch.
Item.
What it was made for. The Grung looks at you and says, I mean, it's kind of up to you guys how we take this. I've been told that there are some items around the house that might be of particular use for you. I understand that you, Voight, have already shown interest in the shotgun and the various types of ammo, which I'm happy to go through and teach you about and explain how it works. But the master has told me that I'm allowed to give you one item each, as well as some healing potions as well. But otherwise, you can spend a bit of time doing a bit of research if you want to, or we can head down to the dungeon now and get you into Carceri.
How do we get out of Carceri?
Yes. Well, that's the tricky bit, right? So, essentially, you want to go from the first layer, Carceri, and he casts a minor illusion spell, and you can see like essentially a planet with loads of different layers, but then planets spanning from that, each with their own different mini layers.
Like layers on the inside. You mean like
yes,
an onion?
Yeah, like an onion.
Or a chocolate orange.
Or, well,
wait, is it closer to an onion or a chocolate orange or like one of those crepe cakes?
More of an onion.
Okay.
So he points to there's many different Carceris, but you're going to this one. We'll send you, make sure that the eye patch, essentially I've got to do a little ritual and it'll work as its own little campus. But the realm of Carceri is a bit different. So once you're on the first layer, I couldn't tell you which layer Odin's on. So you're going to have to find him. And then once you've found him, you need to reach the upmost layer and climb to the highest peak and then jump into the river Styx and follow that up, and the minor image starts turning into the 9 hells. Follow that up the 9 hells, and once you reach the top of the 9 hells, then you want to go to Hades, and then from Hades, I'm going to put into the eye patch a little ritual that will get you back here.
That's quite a long way.
Do you think he's in Hades?
No, he's in Carceri. The only way to get back from Carceri to the material plane is through the 9 hells and Hades. But I hear Hades is lovely.
That's not what I've heard.
No.
Well, I haven't spoken to anyone who was there, but
Can I roll a history check for Hades? Or
of course you can.
Nature check. Is it lovely? What's the weather like?
Oh, I rolled a 10. Is it lovely?
It's a demi-plane, and it's a demi-plane of the dead. Maybe, I think you've heard from Agnes that Kalemvor lives there.
Oh.
Oh, he has a jolly time there, Kalemvor. He really enjoys the heat, you see. It does wonders for the skin. And he thoroughly enjoys it. So I'm sure it's lovely. He's not said otherwise.
No. Kalemvor, the god of what was it again?
The grave domain. The
grave.
Death and judgment.
Yeah. Comes in many forms.
Yes.
How are we going to maintain supply chain all the way through these 9 hells and the rest?
You guys are the adventurers.
Yes, but usually, right? Oh, never mind.
No, it's a good point.
I mean, you have a ranger with you. That's one of the ways to, find the best ways of food and water and things like that.
Back to hoofing it. Okay.
Well, for this amount of money, it's not really surprising, I suppose.
I'm just kind of regretting scoffing Alfredo's packed lunch so soon.
I do have a lot of brandy in my bag still, if that helps.
that will help.
I'm sure we could ask Giacomo maybe for a packed lunch.
Can we take Giacomo with us?
Jacopo is one of the master's favorites, and essentially we'll probably go with you to Carceri. That's kind of more of an adventurer job, but he will make you pack lunch. I'm sure he makes a fine ham sandwich.
Amazing. We'll need this for... Oh, sorry.
Just so you know, I don't have it today, but I could create us some food and water should we wish for it, but not today.
Excellent.
Very useful.
Very useful.
Like I say, we have all the time that you need to take. Please make yourself at home. If there's any more research you can do, you'll find that this place is a plethora of knowledge. So if there's anything you'd like to know more of, then that's fine.
Is there a library or something that we could have a little look around?
Yeah, he leads you. He says, "You follow me," and jumps off the little desk and waddles alongside, like in front of you, and leads you to like a 3-story library.
Wow. She's just gonna pat his head and just be like, "It's so pretty."
Okay, take poison damage. No.
I don't mind. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. It's okay. You can get away with it.
It's okay. Either way, it's fine. It's just nice to see one. Live your life.
Research isn't really my thing. You said something about items?
Yes, of course. And he says, "Would you like to follow? I can take you tours of the rooms." Okay.
Yes.
So the first room he leads you to is a draconic themed room with the coolest part of this room is that the bed is bed framed in a giant dragon's skull that's open. So that's the actual bed is in a dragon's skull.
Oh my god, what if it accidentally snaps shut?
It's you gather that the carpenters that did all the building have done a good job here. Great joiners. But there is again, like a mannequin, but this one's adorned with green scale armor, and next to it is a bone sword, presumably made out of like a dragon femur, but you can see written in giant, it says Dragon Slayer on it.
Nice.
That's for those of you who can read giant.
Yeah.
And it's like a fairly decent sword. It's a great sword. And it looks like it's for a giant's dagger. But
Right.
Then he takes you to a elven room where it's very like everything is really like thin and very, very complex in the sense that it's like almost like thin lines that intertwine with each other to create these like wonderful pieces of furniture. You can see another set of elven mithril armor. This is a full set, and there's also a ring that the Grung tells you is a ring of evasion, which will help you with avoiding things. Then they take you to the dwarven room, which is a bit more square. Everything is again beautiful, but a lot more geometric in that kind of vibe. And in a case, you can see a javelin similar to the one that you saw in the vision, but not gold, but crackling with lightning energy, and you can see it's almost like those globes that when you put your hand to and the electric like follows your hand. Yeah. And then a scimitar is also cast, and you can see that it has like this lovely like dwarven handle, whilst being still this like chunky blade, but it's of a scimitar size, and that is a scimitar of speed. There was the shotgun with the different sets of ammo, each doing extra damage in frozen. You can see that the ammo casings are like slightly frozen on that one. Some of them are hot to the touch. Some of them crackle with a bit of energy. Other ones are a bit sticky. And he tells you that they're more for trapping. And then the stone that's floating around the mannequin is for protection. It'll give you an extra bonus to your AC. He doesn't say that, but that's what he does. And then you go to an orcish room that has like loads of quilts made out of bears and polar bears and tigers. Everything's like wood, and it's weird because it's a building made of like almost jungle. It's really interesting. how they've managed to carve this inside a cave. But that's got some orcish boots that have been crafted for boots of speed, and then a bone shield that when you command it will open up into an animated shield, which the grung shows you.
Ooh. That was a bit like
There's
that
a lot
game show, you know, where everything passes.
Yeah.
Cuddly toy.
Yeah, totally.
The grung looks at you and he says, "You have plenty of time to figure this out, so please make yourself at home, figure out exactly, have a little play with all the different things, and when you're ready, well, we'll send you to Carceri." And that is where we'll end today's session.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yay!
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for playing. Had a lot of fun. It's been a mad one. A lot of exposition. So thank you for seeing through all that. But yeah, no, thank you for guys being so much fun. If you enjoyed tonight, we play every Monday from 6 p.m. GMT, 10 a.m. PT. Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate has just launched and will run till the end of June 2021. And on Tuesdays, we're playing Andor from 7 p.m. GMT till 11 a.m. PT until the end of April 2021. All of our shows are streamed with Twitch at twitch.tv/rolltogether RPG and often hosted at twitch.tv/DND. And you can find all of our content archived on youtube.com/rolltogether RPG. There are also podcast versions of all our shows available everywhere, so search for Roll Together RPG on your favorite podcasting apps, whatever that will be. A massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in the chat now, so do join them. Every penny helps make all the content that we do. And a big thanks again to our sponsors at Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Elderwood Academy, and our supporters on D&D Beyond, Isle of Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. Again, we're all over social media, Roll Together RPG. Are you guys got any social media shout-outs that you want to give out, just in case?
No.
Yeah, too cool.
No.
Too cool. Well, lots of love, guys. Thank you very much for playing. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.